and hit back-to-back homers in the bottom of the eighth inning to tie the game at 3, but Connor Wong failed to catch a foul pop-up by catcher Brandon Valenzuela with 2 outs in the ninth. He then doubled off the wall to drive in the go-ahead run for the visitors. Sox have lost 4 in a row. They're 1 for their last 29 with runners in scoring position. They open up a 3-game series in Seattle tonight. Bruins made news yesterday, first by announcing they're going to retire Patrice Bergeron's number 37 next season, and then later in the day they traded the rights to 7th-round draft pick Andre Gasseau and a 4th-round pick to San Jose for 4th and 5th-round selections. At the World Cup, the U.S. plays Australia at 3 p.m. Eastern Time this afternoon in Seattle. The U.S. won their first match, but their best player, Christian Pulisic, is questionable for today with a left calf injury. Late last night, Mexico clinched a spot in the knockout round with a 1-0 win over South Korea. Canada beat Qatar 6-0. Switzerland beat Bosnia-Herzegovina 4-1. And it was Czechia and South Africa playing to a 1-1 draw. Scotland and Morocco play in Foxborough tonight. And there are still close to 50 men that have to finish their first round this morning at the U.S. Open after a 2-hour fog delay. Wyndham Clark is one of those guys. He's 6 under through 16 holes, and he's got a 4-shot lead on the field at Shinnecock Hills. Ryder Cowan, an amateur who just finished his junior year at the University of Oklahoma, is part of the tie for second after firing a 2 under 68. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Rodenheiser Home Services, now serving the South Shore and surrounding communities. Heating, AC, plumbing, electrical, remodel, and architecture. Rodenheiser has you covered. Local and family-owned, trusted since 1928. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Boston Talk Sports.
Trade break May.
We all know what, but we won't say what. Yeah, worst take on these airwaves in the last 24 hours.
We may not take a call today.
The Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
Yes, I finally shaved my nuts.
and Hardy
Who, me?
Just hanging around.
on 98.5.
Fingerman, heard about you.
Yeah.
We're Costco guys. Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake.
That's gross.
Not a great cook, but I do cook.
When I asked him about the sides,
Kick them in the balls.
I don't care about it, but it's not good behavior.
Blaze Bailey is omitted.
Toucher and Hardy
We're the best friends that can be, my buddy and me.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
It's like a rainbow in my head.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy. Hardy is not here today. Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. And I'll tell you this. Danny Roach is in today. Does anyone know where Hardy is today?
I do not.
His daughter came in yesterday. I don't think she was thrilled to be here. But his daughter came in yesterday, and I don't know. He never really explained where he was going. He said that, well, today's Juneteenth.
Of course.
Did you even know that?
Yes, I did, actually. My kids actually have another day of school they have to go to on Monday. Because of this.
Oh.
It's weird. I mean, no one goes. Parents excuse their kids. My kids' last finals were yesterday. But apparently there is an extra day of the school year that takes place after today because of snow days.
Yeah, Zoe has finals next week, too. So she has more school. And they start before Labor Day, too. So they don't have much of a summer, but that's fine with me. But, yeah, because he was going to go to a wedding in the what do you call that in Missouri? Ozarks. And then that got postponed. So then I said, "Oh, so you're not?" I go, "You're going to that wedding yesterday?" I said this to him off the air. I go, "You were in that wedding?" He goes, "No." And then he's like, explained to me what happened to someone in the extended family, and I went, "Oh, okay." And then he never told me what he was doing. And I'm just curious. It just occurred to me now. That's how much I've thought about it. It just occurred to me now. I'm like, right. I don't know where he went. But Dan is here, and Dan is very happy to be here. He's asked me a lot of questions about my father.
Yeah, let's update the people on how your dad's doing because we spent a lot of this part of the show yesterday discussing it.
So 2 days ago, because my dad is pursuing his passions, which is going to the hospital and spending the night in the hospital. And 2 nights ago, he was losing blood in a certain way, and he got to the hospital, and his blood pressure was like 70/30 or something, and they called code blue on him, which my mom told me the next day. But they called code blue on him, which means they had to resuscitate him. And then they gave him blood transfusions. But then 2 days ago, or yesterday, I think it was. How long has this been going on? I had talked to him 2 days ago twice.
Yes.
Okay, so yesterday
He's down in Tennessee.
He's down in Tennessee. So so overnight, 2 nights ago, they took him from the local hospital via ambulance to one of the big hospitals in Knoxville. And then he's there, and he'd gotten a colonoscopy and these 2 CT scans, and they said there's no polyps or tumors or anything. They believed it was this essentially like a cut, like in the colon wall. And so he's, been losing a lot of blood. He's had 3 blood transfusions, and they went to give him a CT scan at this new hospital, and then they were going to move him to do this procedure to like cauterize the wound in his colon. And when they did the CT scan, they said it's not actively bleeding. And I guess my dad and the radiologist got super into it. But then he was going to sleep, and then my mom was going home to go to sleep for a while. So I left him alone. And then last night I talked to him, and I guess the new doctor had been good, and they were just talking to him. So, like, he's not going to die in the hospital or anything.
Well, that's good.
Yes, that is good. Well, I mean, he's in the hospital, so if he loses blood, they can, help him out. But eventually they're going to have to, if he continues to bleed, they're going to have to they're going to have to make it so he doesn't bleed anymore. I mean, he's 84 years old.
Right. And they live by themselves, like on their own?
They live in a commune with several other hippies. They grow their own.
You know what I meant.
Food,
and we're off.
I know. Here we go. Just trying to show some concern, and what do you get? Commune with.
Do you mean, do they live in a nursing home?
No, assisted living or
no, they live
55 and over community or.
Well,
like that.
I mean, they live around other old people, but they live in a home.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, there's no one in the house to take care of them.
Don't get all pissy, Danny. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
If they lived in an assisted living home, I don't know. Forget it. Anyway, no, they don't live in an assisted living home. They live on their own. They're perfectly capable of taking care of themselves. Look, my mom got him to the hospital, and
a lot of people aren't at that age, Fred. It's like
84.
Yeah.
You had to have had like a stroke, Nicholas, or or something like that. Like you had to have been pretty debilitated, or like not be able to walk or something. And even then, if the living arrangement's right, you generally 84. I don't know. I mean, Jesus, my ex-wife's dad died at 83, so I don't know.
My dad died at 62.
Yeah, I think my grandfather on my dad's side died earlier, even earlier than that. How did he die? How did your dad die?
Yes, my dad 62 heart attack. My grandfather 65 heart attack. Oh. My great grandfather 62 of a heart attack. My brother 58 of cancer. So I got that to look forward to in my life history.
How old are you?
You've already passed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've outlived them all. It's that walking club.
No, I haven't passed that. I haven't gone that high. I haven't outlived them all.
You aren't over 62?
No.
How old are you?
I'm not saying. It's a TV
Didn't
thing.
you think he was over 62?
No, John knows.
You're 60. You're 60, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how old are you?
58.
How old are you?
51.
Oh, you look older than that.
I know.
Oh man.
God.
They took a
I just said
picture.
61.
They took a picture of me, John, and Hardy, and the kid we were playing golf with at the golf tournament, and they like put it in an email that went out to the staff. And I look a good 15 years older than Hardy and John, who are older than me. It's because of this white beard.
Get used to it. I got it.
Yeah. I just assumed that you were old. Not because of the way you look, but because of your tood.
Have you ever?
I'll give you that one, Fred.
Dan,
You got an old tood.
have you ever grown a beard, Dan?
I can't.
You
It
can't?
looks gross.
No.
You know? Like Fred, yours is white, nice, but mine's like spotty, and it's just like it doesn't look good at all.
But the thing that I'm in a real catch-22.
It takes like 2 years.
So if I shave my beard, I look a lot younger, but I also expose that I have no chin. So I'm better off with the beard. And then I've tried to dye my beard one time, and the beard just mocked the dye. It just said no.
That never works either. I can tell right away when someone dyes their hair or beard. You can see it, especially if you've had to do it. I had to do it when I first started on TV, and then you can see it. You just know it. It looks like shoe polish on your head.
Have you ever? Hey, that reminds me. Have you seen Rob Dinkovich recently?
No.
How's he doing? Okay.
Yeah, Ninkovich has a dark black beard, which he obviously is dyeing.
It's disturbing. It's jet
really?
black, and he's almost 45.
One of my good friends from Atlanta that's still in radio has. I just saw him on a podcast, and they were talking about me. It was nice stuff, but I saw him and I texted him, and I'm like, he's the one who said that I told Kid Rock that Pamela Anderson was a slut that he was marrying, which I don't think I did, but when we got into an argument about that, he said something like that, and I'm like, yeah, something like that. But you sound pretty, and he goes, I don't have the interview anymore. But he had long blonde hair for like a long time, and now his hair is short and black, and he's older than me. So I said to him, what are you doing? Like everyone knows when you see him that you've dyed your hair black, even if they've never met you or seen you in your life. Like, you have pitch black hair. What's going on?
What do you say?
I don't know. He ignored me, which is probably the right thing to do. I mean, he
A
was
lot of
just
guys
like,
have a complex about like getting older. It's like,
well,
what's
yeah,
the
I
big
mean,
deal? It's
but the thing is that from my experience, like, I can understand it if you're a woman, but from a male experience, there's almost an advantage to having some gray. For some women, it's an advantage because they've had such horrible experiences with younger men that it's actually a bit of an advantage. At least I'm told. But believe me, I wish I didn't look this old. I wish there was something I could do about it. Maybe I'll get plastic surgery on my chin and then I can
That's
shave.
the other thing too. God, why in the world would you ever do that?
But as a guy,
Yeah.
to look beautiful?
What? Like how? Describe that. Even as a woman and their face and stuff, I just don't get it.
Well, because the thing is, if you're a woman and you get plastic surgery and it's done right, it can really improve your life.
That's the key part, though. Those last two words. If it's done right.
Well, I mean,
know?
there's that Trump face, that MAGA face that they have now that is big in rich culture in Florida, where it's almost deliberately deformative. You're right, though, Dan. Go breast implants. They can't really screw them up. You get breast implants and that takes away a lot of
Guys?
No, guys, you get the mastectomy or whatever they call it, where they really saw off your boobies as a man. Like, I'm thinking about getting that.
Breast reduction, is that what it is?
Well, yeah, but I want to get two big like plastic plates in my chest. You know? Mm-hmm. And then calf implants, which was.
And you go into the batting cage like Happy Gilmore. Ooh,
Yeah. Well, that's where I want to show off is the batting cage.
That's right. A lot of hot women hanging around the
You're
batting
around the
cages.
game a lot, Fred.
Listen, man, it's not
great.
it's not about hot women. It's about my peers and letting
Show
them
all
know.
the college moms. Look at me.
Just hanging out.
Right, exactly.
Everyone drive out to Littleton to Kimball Farm, hang out in the batting cages. Lots of chicks.
Giant kitty cone.
Those
afterwards.
don't have track men on them. That's just wasting time out there. Unless it has track, and they don't even use real baseballs. If it's not track man, I
Right,
don't
those
know.
yellow balls.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
They had to have been referring to something else, but you know that the guy from Driveline, quote unquote, quit the Red Sox, and someone else from Driveline, Ryan, had this long Twitter thing about how great Driveline was, and how everyone's adopted their things, and it says weighted baseballs. I have to assume that's not weighted baseballs with pitchers, correct?
I would not hope not.
because they're not taking credit for that.
Right.
Plyometric balls with pitchers, because those have existed for
Leo Mazzoni used them, right?
right. Like it has to be something that I'm unaware of, because if they're saying weighted baseballs with pitchers and they're somehow acting like they invented that, and that swept the league.
I know, right?
They're a little off on their whole thing about that. Now, they used to be controversial. Some people would think that they were bad for arms. Now they're universally accepted, but I don't know if Driveline can take credit for that. Because when I was a kid, people used weighted baseballs.
Yes.
They were controversial. Now, I don't know if they use weighted baseballs to increase bat speed, but that seems like a long way to go. Seems like there's more efficient ways to do that. All right. Well, look. There it is. There's the update on my father. Now Dan knows they don't live in insistent.
Fred, it was a harmless. Some people do.
It bothered me.
All right,
Dan. Not the time. Dan, go ahead. Dan on the phone.
Freddie, I want to wish your dad a speedy recovery. But I have a question for Rochi. Which Disney princess gives you like the hardest, longest erection? Like you gotta go get it out. Like you gotta get the goop out. Like you get it. It's a problem erection, and you gotta go find a safe space to like feed it down. What are we talking? Which princess?
It took 8 minutes for Fred to jump all over me, right? 6:08. Now it's 17 minutes for this first call.
Wait till 8 o'clock.
Yes, the dirt.
Wait till 8.
Feeling.
Everyone's saving for 8
You're
o'clock.
not going to bring me down. Not after the week we've had in this city with the Scots around. We're going to talk about that, Fred. Get me on my own segment. It was about time teaching a lesson to everyone here in New England and Boston, especially.
Dan says Jasmine.
There are our sister city now.
Bell.
Did you hear?
Yeah. Bell. Bell's the answer, by the way. In case you missed
Which
it.
one's Bell?
Little
Bell.
town, little quiet village.
Which one's Bell?
She's a bookworm.
I don't
From
know.
what
Which
story?
movie?
Sure. You can keep it, Bell. Keep it, Bell. The book. Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, I've never seen
Beginning.
it. I've never seen it.
Oh, no way.
No, I haven't.
You have
Manny.
issues, Fred.
Manny, go ahead.
Manny, what do you got? Say something dirty to me.
I will, because I am from the Merrimack Valley like you are.
Hey,
so I will. But Fred, I want to wish Fred Senior a good recovery, buddy.
Thank you.
But my question is for Dan, since Fred brought Pamela Anderson up. Dan, which one's better, the Tommy Lee tape or the Bret Michaels tape?
Oh, good question.
I just want your opinion.
Which one have you seen the most?
The Fred McGriff one. With the hat way up high.
Yeah, the Tom Amansky tape.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. I had to go to Tom Amansky. I was kidnapped and taken to Tom Amansky.
You went to the camp?
No, I went to the
Tell the story real
facility.
quick. It's a good one. Tell that one real quick.
My father said we were going to like Disney World or something like that, and then we got in a car for 14 hours and ended up in Tom Amansky's place where I didn't want to be.
How was Tom? Was he nice?
I putting myself in his shoes, like he had to be like, what's going on? Like, this kid doesn't want to be here. This dad is like tricked the kid into being here. Like I mean, I wasn't throwing a fit, but like it was obvious I didn't want to be there. So yeah, I don't know.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. And it was like outside
What did you say
of
to your mom?
I don't know who knows.
Where was the camp? What state was the camp in?
Florida?
No, we were in Florida. We were in
okay.
We were in Lakeland, but the camp I think was around where the Royals had that boardwalk in baseball.
Haines City?
Okay.
Which was far. Like no, we didn't drive from Detroit down. I mean, it was like a half an hour lesson, but it was it was like a at least an hour drive. And I remember like not wanting even to go to Disney World. Like I was like, I don't want to. I was too old to be going to the Tom Amansky thing. Like it was like past the time I should have gone. I was probably like 12 or 13, and I was like not into it anymore.
Sure.
Like I didn't have any intention of like I wanted to play high school baseball, but I had no intention of like baseball was going to be
Starring
this,
at
like,
Rollins? He could have.
Oh no, I couldn't have. But it was like I wasn't into it. Like I liked playing baseball and I played 3 sports, but I didn't like I wasn't grinding. I didn't want to play in college or anything, and so I didn't want to do it. I wanted to do stuff that was fun in Florida at that moment. And he tricked me into going to this Tom Amansky thing. And then it was Tom Amansky
himself?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I would have loved that.
You wouldn't, because if you look back, it was awful advice, too. Tom Amansky's way of hitting was terrible. It was like Charlie Lau stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it was that awful. I mean, if you did it now, you wouldn't play in high school. It's all contact, it's all weird bat position and a bunch of craziness.
I went to college for 1 year and played at a Division III school up in Maine, and I was determined to give everything I had to try to play college baseball. It was one of the things I wanted to do in life. So I got the Charlie Lau book. I got the that whole swing and everything else down, George Brett, and studied it with my baseball coach and everything else. And at one point in the season, early on in, he said, we perfected it. This is back when there wasn't a lot of video out. He said, you perfected the swing from the right side of the plate. Your swing looks like George Brett from the right side of the plate, except you can't hit the effing ball. And that was the end of my college baseball career.
Yeah.
So,
well,
there you have it.
A lot of pressure on the 1980s D3. A lot of pressure.
Don't dismiss it.
Then he transferred to Syracuse,
Yes.
Fred, and the rest is history.
Look what happened, baby. Huh? I got hacked.
All right. Well, listen, a lot of things happened yesterday between soccer and baseball and everything else under the sun. We will have that for you in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy on the way on the Sports Hub.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Danny Roach is in today. What happened last night's brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lepresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. All right, John, it is up to you.
All right. Since Dan is here, we're going to start with the Red Sox first. They faced Toronto yesterday in the hopes of both ending a 3-game losing streak and avoiding a 3-game sweep. Sonny Gray started for the Sox. His day did not begin well.
Vlad Guerrero Jr., 280. Attack that one high and deep back toward the top of the wall, and that ball is gone. Home run. Got into the monster seats. Talk about someone who is right at home at Fenway Park. That has always been Vladdy. And he makes it 1-0 Toronto.
Vlad Guerrero Jr. took him deep. It was 1-0 bad guys in the top of the first inning. It was only 2-0 in the seventh. Gray was still hanging in there, but
Lucas with a drive out to right center field into the alley. That's going to carry back there. And that ball is going to escape the ballpark. It is gone.
Nathan Lucas goes deep. It is 3-0. Gray allowed 3 runs in 7 innings of work, and I think we can all agree for most teams that would be enough. You have a chance to win. However, these are the Red Sox, right? They never, ever come back from 3 runs down until yesterday.
There's a swing and a drive by Durbin. Way back and gone. Red Sox go back to back.
The immortal duo of Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and Chad Durbin go back-to-back in the bottom of the 8th inning, and against all odds, the game was tied at 3. Dan Roach, I know you watched this game when the Red Sox came back to tie it at 3. Were you optimistic or not? This will be the real test.
Yes.
Oh, whoops, sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
All right. Yes. I did get a little optimism going there.
Really?
Yes, because they had finally done something we hadn't seen them do, and they did it with a home run.
They could have
Which they
taken 1 and
haven't
3 at home against the Blue Jays.
Yes.
It would have been,
and it would have been on their way. West Coast, here we come.
yeah. It finally, like, things are turning around.
Yeah, Fred. Now we're thinking a lot.
Now, if you're on the team, you start thinking, maybe I'm sticking around all year. Maybe this isn't a trade deadline situation.
Can I honestly tell you how I felt when Vladimir Guerrero hit that ball? I think game over.
Yeah.
Right?
How could you not?
Yes.
Yeah, how could you not? So the game is tied at 3. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Aroldis Chapman comes on. He hasn't given up a run in about 2.5 months. Top of the 9th inning, a runner on first and 2 outs for backup catcher Brandon Valenzuela.
Pop straight up. Wong finds it and can't make the catch. The wind took it up the third baseline. Durbin didn't come far enough down to help him, and the Blue Jays catch a break.
Well, like I was saying, Fred, with this team, there's always one stupid play a game. And we saw Jarren Duran get hit by a batted ball as he was trying to steal second. Didn't look over his shoulder to see where the ball was. He got hit, and he's out. Last night with the game tied and the lead run on first, you have a foul pop-up. And Connor Wong, who's played a few games at Fenway, could not locate the ball in the wind, stumbled up the third base line, and let the ball drop. And as soon as that happened, you knew what was going to happen next.
Swinging a high fly ball, a mile high to left. Duran back, and now coming back. It's off the wall. That's going to bring in another run. In to score, Clement. 4-3 Toronto. Fenway double.
A wall-scraping double handed the Jays a 4-3 lead, and after the Sox go 1-2-3 in the ninth that handed them a win, the Sox get swept by the Jays. They're 14 games under 500. They're in Seattle tonight to open up a 3-game series. Sox, by the way, 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position yesterday. They are 1 for 29 with runners in scoring position, Dan, over their last 3 games. I defy you to find something good about this team.
I can't today. There's too much. There's too much to unpack, even in just those highlights that you played from start to finish. Right? I think, Fred, you're around the game. You know the game. John, same thing. What's being talked about in the dugout all day long because of the weird weather we had yesterday? It's the wind. Right? Guys, you got to help each other. You got to be there for each other. Caleb Durbin watched Connor Wong struggle to get that pop-up, and said after the game, basically, I don't know what happened. I just didn't go after it. Well, that's a losing team. It's like you said with Jaron Duran getting hit by the ball and not looking, not turning. That's losing. It's infectious, and it keeps continuing to go through the entire clubhouse, and that's what we're seeing. Because as soon as that happens, they get that wind-aided double off of the wall, and there's your ball game. It's just one thing after another, and it doesn't end. And looking up some numbers, Chad Finn had this note too. When do you think they lost their 43rd game? They're 29-43 in 2018. Mm-hmm. August 31st was when they lost their 43rd game.
Well,
in 2021, they lost their 43rd game, July 31st. Yeah. This team is the last time they were 29-43, 1996.
Yeah, that was Butch Hobson. That was a bad
historically bad. It's just that was Kevin Kennedy on that.
Oh, okay.
Team.
Sorry, that was after they went in 95.
Oh, you got the facts wrong.
And
I'm sorry.
Well, Peter Abraham wrote about it. We had Tom Caron on yesterday. With the amount of teams that are in the wild card hunt, if you started selling now, you get a ransom for in who would be off the table. I mean, no one. Sonny Gray. I bet you the Cardinals would trade back for Sonny Gray. They need a starting pitcher, and they don't want to invest in anyone. So I bet you that the Cardinals would. I bet you could do what you love to do and deal with Heim Bloom again. I bet you anything that the Cardinals
probably for less than you sold them for.
Oh,
too.
for sure. I mean, 100%. Yeah.
I bet they'd all be lined up though for Sonny Gray, Fred. A
Well,
lot of teams.
that's just an example of that. I do believe, and because Gray's got a no trade clause, but I bet you anything he'd go back to the St.
Judging
Louis.
by his post game comments,
well, what you said, we're not
just
good.
Opted out of his no trade
well, I mean,
clause.
if you're a starting pitcher for this team,
Yes.
I mean, it's you want off now. And if I'm Crochet, I don't want to pitch again this year. Unless it's the very end of the season and I'm just getting glorified bullpen work.
And if you're Roman Anthony, you're afraid to come back. You want to be 100% on that, too.
If I'm Roman Anthony, I might want to play a little bit more than I would if I was Garrett Crochet. If I'm Roman Anthony, I might want to get some more major league at-bats. Like if I feel like okay enough to hit a fastball.
Well, two things. Can I
But just real quick, I mean, Whitlock, Chapman, Gray. I mean, I would trade Contreras if I could. I mean, I would trade every veteran on this team.
Contreras has far and away been their best player.
Yes.
Not pitcher, not hitter, player. Guy's an all-star. He's going to hit 30 homers, driving 100 runs. He's hitting over 300. It's lost on this team.
And he's exactly what another team would want in a veteran.
He's not hitting 300. Let the record, not close. So let the record show that John's wrong.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Got, 14 homers. So remember what we talked about with fan graphs and everything else? And I think Alex Cora had a bet that they said how many players would have 20 home runs, 30 home runs? They said, well, you look at this Red Sox team. Where do you think they are in home runs this year? Second last.
Oh, sorry.
Right, Colorado.
Tampa, 29.
Tampa.
61. And Tampa has 58. The Yankees have 110.
Yeah,
so
well,
you
it's
look
the
at
ballpark
that,
there.
And on this team,
as opposed to
it's the ballpark,
as opposed
clearly.
to Fenway, which is impossible.
Well,
to get the ball out.
I maintain it's easy to hit a homer at Yankee Stadium. Damn it!
Oh, it's not hard, but it's
the pop up to right field
as opposed to
Fenway. At least the fence is way out right.
Right.
Yeah, the wall steals homers.
If you hit the ball up in the air yesterday,
the
to
wall
left field,
steals home runs.
Well, John, I think if you could get it close enough to the pole in right field, that you could throw a ball over the over the fence.
But at least at Fenway it goes out to 380. At Yankee Stadium, 380 puts it about 40 rows back.
By the way, they don't have Judge, so let's not go crazy about how easy it is for the Yankees.
Very easy.
But Fred, I think you're right. You just mentioned the pitchers. You go down the hitters. I mean, I still want to keep the core because things can happen off from
What do you
year
mean
to year.
the core?
Abreu, Rafaela.
Yeah.
You know, those guys. But anybody else,
you got to field the team next year,
right? Yes,
right. But anyone that you can get value for, where you believe that you could acquire someone the next free agency period, whenever it is, or you can get. If you can get more back for the veteran than you believe it would cost, either in money or in assets, to get something comparable for next season, then you got to make that deal. Unless it's like Chapman, closers. you're in a very odd situation right now where, I mean, closers closers are probably the most valuable trade piece for teams acquiring them at the trade deadline. Good teams. Like, that's usually where they can upgrade the most or has the most real effect.
And how wouldn't you want Chapman, right?
And you would want Chapman. So the thing is that he's of no use to you at all. So why wouldn't you trade him like today and go, I'm going to give you, you know, more than half the season with Chapman. Here you go. And then just relish that return, because how many teams with good closers would be willing to deal right now?
Well, you know what you also have the problem with, too, Fred? Combine that with everything that I've heard. And again, I'm not around the team as much as I have been in the past just because of the nature of my job and the Patriots and everything else. But Craig Breslow's inability to pull the trigger on deals. That's been one of his criticisms at the trade deadline in the offseason.
It was a disaster last year.
So that's the guy that's in charge of it right now. So I almost want to bring in like an interim general manager with a veteran presence. Fred, and again, you've talked about this ad nauseum about the objectives and what Dave Dombrowski would do for a team, right? He'd come in and, he didn't care about the farm system. He would just, go win. Now, but I would almost want a Dombrowski type of guy or somebody with an eye for a farm system and Dombrowski to pull the trigger. We're going to do this.
Well, then you want a perfect GM, because they had Dombrowski and they fired him, and then they got Chaim Bloom and he did what they wanted and they fired him. Now Chaim Bloom made mistakes, but he did achieve what they wanted, which is he completely rebuilt the farm system, and they should be reaping the benefits for him right now. That's a player development situation. If none of these kids hit that Bloom got in here, so. You fire, and then you ended up with a complete incompetent that even Dan, and this is an insult to Dan, but even Dan, who's not prone to negativity with this team, we haven't talked to one guy, Tom Caron, who works for Nesson, who would have no reason to be negative if he didn't have to be. Anybody, Sean McAdam, anybody that covers this team, Dan, that has given one single reason why Craig Breslow should be in charge of this team. And what makes it interesting to me is the arrogance of which they operated, as if they were so buttoned up and so, oh, you idiots, not the fans, but just everyone in baseball's a moron. We know we have the data, and I understand that you need it. You need to use data, especially when you have a huge pool of talent and you need to narrow it down. I understand all of that. But the point has been made. Once you get to the major league level, all that talent is, you've gotten the talent. Now it's time to win. And maybe there's a different modus operandi when you've thinned the talent, when you've gotten the talent down to the people on the major league roster, that you have to change your approach a little bit. Yes, John.
One story that kind of popped up last week, Dan, or the week before, is that ownership, independent of Craig Breslow, was making phone calls to other teams looking for a right-handed bat for the lineup. That was when they were still deluding themselves.
Throw open my mouth.
Do you really think do you really think that ownership would do that independent of Breslow, because they lack the confidence in him to get a deal done?
Maybe, right? Maybe that's what it's come down to, which you hate to see
that's
and hear.
Ugly.
It's like Fred said, just say thank you, but goodbye, right? I don't understand that part. You were able to say goodbye to Alex Cora in April. Go ahead and do it. Just pull the trigger and say we made a mistake. I think
that's
there's
their
nothing.
biggest problem.
The drive line guy's gone. Your manager's gone. You fired a bunch of coaches with the manager. There's nothing. It's almost like Breslow has naked pictures of Henry or something. I don't understand. I can't think of a more inept general manager in town off the top of my head. I mean, I'm sure you could go back, years, but the Bruins haven't had anyone this inept as a general manager since I can. Maybe when I first got to town, I don't remember, but not Chiarelli and not and not since then.
You have to go back to mid-90s ML Carr with the Celtics.
You know what they need?
Yeah, Stevens and Ainge. I can't think of, and obviously you could have said Elliot Wolf was a bad GM, but that's not true. So they went to the Super Bowl. So Since I've been in town, and Belichick made a lot of mistakes, but they won. I can't think of anyone this inequipped to be doing their job, and everything they sold you about why they would be good at their job isn't working. Like if you're so statistics driven and you're so data driven, you shouldn't hit. Like, I understand that, like, there is like a bit of like an unknown there, even with this stuff, but there's no way the floor should be this low. You might be the worst team in baseball. You very well could be the worst team in baseball. Certainly the worst team in baseball that was trying to win. Oh, that's for sure.
That's
because it's the Rockies, the Angels, or you. Look, the Tigers are bad, about as bad as you, but they've had a lot of injuries. So have you. Maybe the Tigers are as disappointing as you are. I don't know. But the AJ Hinch is still their manager.
I have a solution, or something who I'd like to see come in here, and we'll do it. Want to tease it? We'll do it at 8 instead of shooting the breeze. Okay. We'll be right back.
Yeah, whatever you want to do today, that's fine with me.
No, there's a reason for that.
Oh, no kidding, John.
Jeez.
No, but let's just give Danny the show. I've got personal issues. All right, we'll be back. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
big show on the way.
Need a little help getting started in the morning?
It's very dangerous.
They've got the experts.
So, no.
Toucher and Hardy.
No.
On the Sports Hub.
All right, Danny, you had something that you wanted to say. You have a big idea for the Red Sox. I'm sorry, I keep putting.
Hello?
I'm a creature
Hello?
of habit, Daniel. Don't take it so personally, you sensitive prick. All right, go ahead. What you got?
So, you talked about Breslow and what this team needs, and I know it's pretty obvious, right? Is Theo Epstein, right? He would never do it.
No.
But if you're John Henry and you've had Theo and how long and everything else, you would walk in and say, Theo, could you become a consultant for me and find a president, general manager, whatever you want to call it, of baseball operations that you choose, that you can help me choose, that has the right mix of Theo, reading an article on him, building the right culture in an organization meant more than finding players who fit a statistical mode. Role players are just as important in clubhouse chemistry. Theo was a master at finding value in the margins. Everything else, those kind of things, the right mix of personalities, Boston. So I don't know if you just try to go out and find, you try to find a way to pry Jed Hoyer from the Cubs or Mike Hazen from the Arizona Diamondbacks or Josh Burns from the Dodgers. Just get somebody in here that has that way of thinking that can deal with, as Fred talks about, the analytics, the stats, which you need. It's the way the game is going. It's fine. But also has the right mix of personality to deal with people on a daily basis, to walk through the clubhouse, to talk to the owners, to talk to the manager, to talk to fans, that can get along with everybody and bring everybody together. They don't have that right now.
There's a problem with all of this, Dan. And Theo would be perfect because no one knows the landscape better than him. But it's still the same ownership group. It's still the same group that is heading towards their fourth GM in the last 8 years. Before they hired Breslow, they talked to about 6 or 7 other people, well-respected people around the league, and all of them said no. There's a reason all of them said no. I remember there was a story. There's a woman by the name of Kim Ong, NG. She ran the Florida Marlins, and by all accounts, she did a good job, I think, before Jeter forced her out when he became one of the owners. But she came here. Now, again, she was the GM of the Florida Marlins. Red Sox, in theory, a payroll that tripled what she was used to working with. She came here and immediately said no. And there's a reason for this. There aren't a lot of people that are talented that want to come work for this ownership group. You can have Theo go look at whoever he wants, but you still have to work for those guys.
But maybe it's the time because John, if people are right with the criticism that he's not as invested in this as he was when he first bought the team. Maybe now's the time where someone goes to John. Maybe Theo goes to John, who has that perhaps strength and relationship and power, and says, listen, you got to stay away. Let me do this. And you got to commit to whoever we're doing here and walk away. Maybe now's the time because they're not going to be good this year. They may not be good next year if they don't make the right moves and what have you. So you're talking a total kind of on the fly, on the mend rebuild here. And you need that. You need to make the right choice and find the right guy. Who better at finding the right guy than a consultant in Theo Epstein?
And you also have the lockout coming up and a salary cap more than likely coming into place. I think ownership will use that as an excuse to ride this season out and then deal with the rule changes when they're implemented, whenever they're implemented, because we might not have baseball for a long time after this season, based on the owner's latest proposal last night. I mean, it's getting ugly. So I'm betting that John Henry looks at this and goes, you know what? I'm not hiring a new person now. It's not worth it. We don't know what the rules are going to be. We're certainly not spending any more money. So all of that sounds perfect. Theo's the perfect guy to do it. But given the landscape of the franchise right now, I don't see it happening.
I wonder if they would be that against spending a little bit of money, given that they they really might start seeing a little bit of a problem at the box office. Like it's happened since I've been here. It's happened before.
And spending a little bit of money in what way?
In order to kind of give the team back some popularity locally, like to get people to come to Fenway. I mean, there were empty seats yesterday. I understand that there's tourists and people from visiting teams, but in order to sustain a 162 game season, you do need a local fan base that's invested. So I can't imagine Nesson ratings are going to be great. I can't imagine that it's going to be. I mean, I bought tickets to a game that were on sale, like in the field box for face value, like 2 days before a game recently. That's not good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they don't like that. You have a big building. I mean, small as baseball parks, but you understand what I'm saying. A building that you can fill and make money on 81 times a year. That's not cheap. I mean, that's a lot of money in your pockets.
Well,
and if
it's
that's
the highest
not
ticket
happening,
prices, so that small attendance.
right. And so, I mean, you're making a
pays the
lot of
bills.
money a game. And if people stop showing up, I mean, there is some incentive. You're losing more money than you're making by not having a payroll if you can't get people to come to a game.
And don't you think if they said that today, that we're making Theo Epstein a consultant for now, and said goodbye to Craig Breslow, that at least that would bring some life into the franchise a little bit?
I think getting rid of Craig Breslow is just what you need to survive as an organization. Like that, to just put anything relatively competitive on the field. He seems to be completely inept in a way that you rarely see. Like truly a terrible, terrible executive. An inability to communicate. And all his ideas that he's so proud of are all failing.
An inability to learn from his mistakes. He said repeatedly after the Devers disaster, I have to be better at communicating with the players and the people around me. And earlier this year, Tim Healy had a story. It's like he's turned off all the people around him because he's not communicating with them.
Right.
He is a robot.
Right.
Who hasn't evolved at all.
All right. Bert Breer is here. We will talk to him in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
All right.
Austin's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Diving effort. But he's got a breakaway. To the backhand. Throws it in front. Coming to the spot.
The Sports Hub. When it comes to the show, Hardy thinks the same way you do.
Nothing happened.
He's got the same questions.
Where is the story?
And the same opinions.
Boring.
And he's back with Fred on the Sports Hub.
I would say that agency that's representing both Witherspoon and Gonzalez is thinking that they're going to get Witherspoon done first. There's going to be some urgency on both sides to get something done there. If Witherspoon gets done, my guess would be that agent is then going to look at it and say, okay, here's our floor.
The voice of Bert Breer, our friend Bert Breer, talking about the kid from Seattle. That's all I got out of that. I wasn't paying attention. Because I've got the real Bert Breer right here. He is from the MMQB. He joins us in studio on Fridays. We're very fortunate to have him. Hello, Bert.
Good morning, Fred.
Good morning. We don't know where Hardy is. He has the day off, but he was supposed to go to the terrible place in Missouri.
Branson, Missouri.
Nah.
Oh, I would have guessed it was for the U.S. Open, but it's not.
No.
Is Branson Dolly World?
No, that's Pigeon Forge. Oh, Dan, you're better than that.
Oh,
you seem
Wasn't
like a
Branson
Pigeon
in
Forge
the
guy.
Simpsons at some point?
Simpsons been on for 70 years.
No, but I mean, like when the Simpsons was actually the Simpsons, like in the 90s.
I know that there is an episode where Bart gets a fake driver's license, and the joke is they end up at Knoxville,
the World's Fair,
and they look at the old
globe.
the old globe from the 1964 World's Fair. Yes,
that's still there, right?
That is still there.
Yeah.
That is the highest thing in Knoxville to this day.
It's funny because that came up, and Rochi brought up like how when we took the kids to Paris, you relearn the history of all this stuff. And the Eiffel Tower was actually
on the
same thing.
Yeah,
it was like a monument they built for the World's Fair in the 1800s. And I brought to Emily and the kids up the globe in Knoxville, as maybe that one didn't resonate the same way the Eiffel Tower did.
Well, I've seen it several times, and it's I can tell you this: it is not impressive. That I can give you that much information on it. All right, so. The big story involving football just in general is the inability of the NCAA
to enforce anything.
All right, so here's the deal is that obviously, no joke, this is all serious. You are a massive fan of college football. You're involved in the Ohio State program. So, look, they pay players. They deserve to be paid probably. They relaxed these transfer rules, and the whole thing was like, well, look, coaches can leave and things like that. But now it seems to me that the NCAA, in terms of football, has become – so here's what it is to me, is that, A, the talent obviously is way inferior to that of the NFL. 2, the rules with anything, including player movement, are worse than they are in the NFL in that there is none of them.
Yep.
And that also – they're above any kind of law. So
it's gone way too far.
Yeah. So like, as someone who lives and dies by college football, how off-putting is all this stuff for you?
I mean, if you guys want an idea of how far this could go, just as far as their inability to enforce the rules at all, and I would say this whole thing is probably the first time that the schools, the NCAA, are sitting there saying, I wish they had a union. Because at the crux of the Sorsby thing is that the players didn't agree to the rules. And so the players never agreed to these rules that they have, so how are the rules enforceable? If you had a union, the rules would have been agreed to. And then that opens a huge Pandora's box. I've used this example with a few different people this week. Let's just say the Patriots draft somebody in the 6th round in April, and that guy doesn't sign a contract but goes through all the spring work and then looks at it and says, I'm probably not going to play in the fall. What's now stopping that guy from going back to college.
It's already happened in college basketball,
Right.
multiple times.
I mean, and that is like a real chaos situation. I mean, and that's where it could really start to affect the NFL. And I mean, just none of the rules are enforceable anymore. And like that's where it's really problematic, and that's where it's like on leadership. It's on the NCAA, it's on the school presidents, it's on all of these people that have been cashing these checks for so long. And really, it feels like they were just riding this great gravy train until it fell off the tracks. Now it's on them to find a way to put the genie back in the bottle. Because I'm just telling you, like, the way I look at this, I mean, we are not far off now from these schools. We're going to have to, I mean, and you think the $20 million salary cap that they've put in is enforceable? It is not. The big schools, I can tell you this for a fact, have $40 to $50 million payrolls now for their football team. And what's going to end up happening, like I've heard people say, well, why do you have to pay the coach $10 million? You know who's taking the pay cut? You know who's going to feel this? All the non-revenue sports. So we're talking about like potential, if they don't get a handle on this, like the potential deconstruction of college sports as we know them, where those schools are not going, those schools that have $100 million television contracts aren't going to say, well, the football coach can take a $5 million pay cut. No. They're going to say, why do we need a wrestling team? Why do we need a softball team? Why do we need a men's lacrosse team? Why do we need... And that's what's going to end up happening, because if you're asking for it to be a business, and it's going to be a business, that's where they're going to look.
Okay, so college football inarguably is the second most popular sport in the U.S. Just personally, I've got way less interest in it than I did 5 years ago because
of all of this.
Yeah, because it's nonsense. Like it's not the number one thing for me is that, well, first of all, it's just disgusting that you can bet on your own team and that they're just like, yeah. I know the NCAA is not like that, but they've put themselves in a situation. Yeah. But also that you can just leave. Like any team, like when you get to a situation where you're rooting, like I know we're in college football just by the nature of it being an amateur, quote unquote, sport where there's 4 years where you can participate, that, you know, you're rooting basically for the uniform. But it's another thing when the team is shifting completely year after year, in that there's like a couple stragglers left from the year before, but everything else is new. That doesn't seem like good for the long-term popularity for people that aren't from areas where college football is king, like the Southeast, or, you know, alumni of school like Ohio State.
I don't think it's good for the players either.
Right. Well, no, it's not good for kids. Yeah.
Ultimately, I don't think it's good for the players if they're jumping to 3 and 4 different schools. I mean, that's going to affect their development from a football standpoint. And you can hear it now talking to NFL coaches where they're saying guys are coming in less developed because they've been at 3 different schools. And it's like, okay, it's like anything else. Like, if you're in a job for 5 years, you're going to be much better at that job 5 years in than you are in year one. In year one, you're still getting your footing. Well, imagine if you were in a different job every year for 4 years in a row.
College basketball, you see 4 years, 4 different schools. And with the COVID, you know, you can have an extra year of COVID. We have guys that have been in school for 5 or 6 years and have been to 5 different schools.
And of course, that's going to affect your development.
Right. But it's already here. It's already happened.
It's hurting the players there. And then for the guys who don't make it to the pros, they don't have a degree.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't plugged into these professional networks that are massively powerful, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you spend 4 years as an athlete at a good school, like you are now all of a sudden plugged into a really powerful alumni. You don't have that anymore if you were jumping from school to school. So I don't think in the long run, the majority of the kids, I mean, you have some kids that are going to make a ton of money off of this, but that's a small minority, you know? And most of the kids, I think long term really wind up being hurt because of
How's it get fixed?
I I think they almost have to unionize them now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that there's any other choice. Like, and it's just, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to pretend that I'm, I'm read up enough on labor law and all of that to figure out how you do it. But I just don't know how there's any other answer to it. Because they have to negotiate rules, and you can't negotiate rules if you don't have a union.
Well, the NCAA has tried to take a baby step in the right direction and kind of trying to implement a 5-year rule. Your clock starts either when you turn 19 or you graduate high school, whatever's first, you get 5 years. That's it. Yep. Injuries or not injuries, you get 5 years and then you're done. Right. Now, there are exceptions to the rule. College hockey players come in later, you know, whatever. And in the WNBA, you've had...
Well, it's been abused in hockey worse than any other sport.
Women's basketball.
They don't show up till like 21.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Hockey rules will be different. That's what they've negotiated. In women's basketball, there are different rule exceptions. But by and large, you get 5 years. That's it. Doesn't matter how many schools you transfer to, whatever.
That's great, but that's not enforceable unless the players agree to it.
Right.
That's the whole problem. Is like what Sorsby did, which is where the jumping off point for this whole thing was. Like, the reason everybody knows what Sorsby did was wrong and a cardinal sin and everything else. The reason it's not enforceable is because the players didn't agree to the rules. So how can you enforce a rule that one side didn't agree to? And that's where I think the argument that you need a union comes in. And again, like, that's where I go back to where I started on this, which is this is probably the first time where the NCAA and the schools were sitting there saying, man, I kind of wish we had one now.
Well, yeah, I just wonder when this is going to start affecting popularity a little bit. And then schools that are, spending $50 million, as you said, on players and their budgets and everything, that they start going,
I mean, you hear it from scouts too. In the summer when I'm going around to these different training camps, and I'll see like somebody who's in college scouting at one of the camps, and he'll have just gotten back from being out like a week or 2 weeks going through the SEC or whatever, because they'll do their visits. He'll be like, it's way different than it was 10 years ago. Like, I need to go in. I need to have my roster. I need to meet with the coaches before. Oh my God, I didn't realize this guy is here now. Like, where like 10 years ago, it would have been like, all right, like, I'm going to go and watch tape from the team the year before, and here are the returnees, and that's it. It's not like that anymore at all.
And there also is something to be said about, like, if you're a program and you invest in a kid, even beyond like giving them NIL money, you just invest in them to, you give them a scholarship and you make them a part of the program, and they don't give you more than a year. Like, they're so disenfranchised by the first year of their being at the program. Like,
you can't coach them hard anymore.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing, is that
yell at them, everything.
Yeah. So you yell at them to leave.
Well, I mean, Izzo's talked about it. It's like you're recruiting your own team. And imagine being a football program. At least Izzo's only got to really, let's be honest, worry about like 6 kids that like, he's really worried about leaving. Mm-hmm. So like, you're recruiting your own kids, and it's just
every year.
Yeah. And then the timing of they let the whole transfer portal process starts before a lot of the bowl games. It's just nonsense. It's really amazing how it get this out of control. And again, I just keep mentioning it because I don't hear it a lot. I just wonder if it's ever going to hurt the popularity of the sport. If people that, didn't go to a big school that's a football powerhouse or aren't from some bumpkin town start going, like, there's plenty of other things that I can look at. I don't need to be completely invested in college football. Like, I don't ultimately care about the University of Michigan, like if they're good or not. It's just some uniform that I have no involvement with. And it's these players mean nothing to me. I mean, how many people had heard of Sorsby that aren't, follow, like, this is
his third school.
Yeah, it's his third school, and he's not been like this incredible like star. So, now we're all now Sorsby, like, it sounds to me, because I don't know anything about the kid. Mm-hmm. At first you're like, wow, Sorsby's getting $5 million to go to Texas Tech, and Texas Tech is willing to their whole reputation and just say, screw it all. And to their 42,000 kids that are going to school there.
Did you guys see the meeting? Like
I saw.
Oh, yeah, we saw the video.
I've never seen dumber people in my entire life. Casual. Let's get 5 guys in a cash setting with like a lapel mic that will hold and go around eating the microphone back and forth to explain this, you idiots.
It was so good. It was like
it was so They're so.
It was so good and how bad it was.
It was so just interesting how dumb and unsavvy they were. Like it just was
the money
off.
Guys.
And those are get out of here with that, And so they're idiots. It's amazing how many dumb people are in positions that somehow get on TV once in a while. And so,
excuse me.
So everything's about Dan. Typical narcissistic TV guy. Yeah, Dan. Everything's about you. But it's funny because we can break and get into it a little bit, but I don't even know how necessary it is. It's like so Sorsby. You assume there's going to be the supplemental draft, and what will teams give up for him? And now, and Bert and I were talking about this a little bit off air. Here's an example. It's just the example I know. It involves the Jets. I apologize. But the Jets took a kid in the first. Big rumors the Jets would want Sorsby because they need a quarterback. They have 3 first-round picks next year. Well, I read a national guy say from The Athletic, he's like, Klubnik, this kid they got from Clemson, according to some mock drafts, was going to be the number 1 pick in the draft until the college season started. Clemson was terrible, and Sorsby's no better than he is. So, this kid's this massive star because he bet on his own team, which is the only thing in sports you can't do.
I'll put a real quick bow on the union argument for everybody here too. Like you guys remember 25 years ago when there was this perception out there that whenever the time came that somebody was going to challenge the NFL's junior rule, right, that you had to stay 3 years in school.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever somebody challenges this rule in court, it's over and everybody's going to be able to get in. And you guys remember Mike Williams and Maurice Claret both challenged it. Mike Williams from USC, Maurice Claret from Ohio State. Both those guys together went in and tried to challenge the rule and lost. Why'd they lose? Well, because the court, and I've learned this in years of covering this stuff, courts never want to intervene in labor agreements. And the court basically ruled, no, the players agreed to those rules. So since the players agreed to those rules, even though you're not in the players' union yet, you're going to be in that union, and that union agreed to those rules. And so it made rules that may not be fair enforceable, right? There's nothing that makes the rules enforceable because they weren't agreed to here. And that, I think, is the Pandora's box, the Sorsby thing. It didn't open the Pandora's box, but it maybe blew it to pieces.
Yeah,
you know?
and again, it's just repeating myself, and everyone would, I feel, believe this too. It's like the thing in sports you can't do.
Yeah.
Well, they allow gambling now. You can gamble legally.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, you can't. Right. You can drink and you can drive a car, but you can't drink and drive a car and flip it onto a lawn. Like, you can't bet on your own team. You
like
can't
Pete
do
Rose.
it. Yes, it's like anything. It drives me insane that people don't. I'll hear smart people and they'll be like, well, all the leagues have got these gambling sponsors. Okay, but you can't gamble on your own team. Like, logic, you don't have to litigate.
They also have beer sponsors. It doesn't mean the owner can wrap his car around a tree.
Exactly. Like, you can't litigate like everything based on like some preliminary logic or some base logic. Like, yeah, they have gambling that as advertisers. Okay, well, the reason they can't gamble on their own teams is because if the outcome of the sport seems predetermined, it ruins. It makes the sport worth nothing.
Turns it into pro wrestling.
It devalues it to less than zero. Pro wrestling's always been fake. That's always been theater. You know the 33 million people that watched Game 5 of the NBA Finals and the big parade? How rare that is to get that many eyeballs on something all at the same time? You want that over with? A scripted event? If I'm going to watch it at all, watch it 6 years from now. What the hell difference does it make? So anyway. I'm all hot-headed.
I see that.
I got fever. All right, look, we'll be back in just a moment. Bert's got a lot of good stuff to talk about. We'll get back to him in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
It's Fred's.
sub.
Roach is in for Hardy today. We don't know where Hardy is. He's got a vacation day. His daughter was here yesterday. She seemed to have to take him somewhere.
Is he at Shinnecock Hills?
No.
No.
I don't know where. And I said, are you going to Nebraska? And he said no. He was being very cagey about
College
where
World
he was
Series?
going. Yes, he was going to him and his
Pretty
family
cool.
were going to the College World Series. He's a huge college baseball fan.
Nice.
I've heard that's actually awesome.
I have heard that's fun too. But that's not what he was doing. All right, Bert is here. Bert, you know, the story of the preseason is going to be Christian Gonzalez's future with the team, and obviously with Drake May coming up. Let's start with Drake May as this affects Christian Gonzalez. How much do you think Drake May is going to end up making per year?
70, I think, at least. So, look, I think you have to look at these things from an inflation perspective. And when we get there, when we get to next year and he's eligible for a contract for the first time, Dak Prescott's contract, which is, I think, the last market setter that was a conventional contract. Mahomes and Allen are different. Now, if you do the way everybody does this is like new money, considering an extension, even though they're really new contracts, I won't bore you with all those details. But the actual new money analysis of Allen and Mahomes' deals is over $100 million a year. You got to throw those out because there was so much time remaining on those contracts. So by the time we get to the next offseason, Dak Prescott's contract is going to be 3 off seasons old. So that's 3 off seasons of
He's making 40, 50, 60?
Yeah, so he's making 60. I'm going to calculate
60.
And
if I remember,
like 75?
Well, so here's the math on it. Okay, so the salary cap when Dak did that contract was $255 million. Okay, so if you do the math here, his contract was $60 million per, and that is 23.4% of the salary cap. Okay, so the salary cap this year is 301. I think next year it'll be at around 325, 330. Let's say conservatively. Let's say conservatively it's 325, right? Then 23.4% of 325 is $76 million. Okay, so if we're just doing it on a percentage basis. Now, what you have to remember is that number, that's not the actual total number of the contract because you're going to be folding the 2 existing years in. So it's going to be the last year of his rookie contract and his option year.
All right.
Okay?
Yep.
But I think if you're Drake, if you're Caleb Williams, if you're Jaden Daniels, you're probably looking and saying, I should be at between, presuming they have good years, right? Which is, we'll see. But presuming they play to their potential, I'm asking for $70 to $75 million. And it's actually not that far off. After we had that conversation, I think it was last week, I looked it up.
Yep.
SGA, the extension number, was actually over 70. So in other sports, we're seeing it too. Basketball's a little different because there are fewer players and all that. But I don't think that if Drake again is top 5 for MVP, let's not even runner up. Top 5 for MVP, he should ask for a number that starts with a 7.
Like a $500 million contract over.
Yeah, and I mean, that's
years?
the other part is okay, so what you look for then if you're the Patriots is length on the contract.
Yeah, you got to lock that in.
Yeah, you want to
who knows where the salaries are going to go.
And that's why it's okay, if we're going to account for the inflation, then you got to give us some control over the situation.
Yeah.
Which is where Allen and Mahomes are.
But I like 7 years and $500 million. That would solve a lot of problems.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's what you're talking about. Because, all right, let's just say 75, 6 times 75 would be 450. 450. So that's a 6-year, $450 million deal. That's actually an 8-year contract because you're including the 2 years folded in.
Right.
Now you're spreading it out. That number is going to probably drop to somewhere in the low 60s or whatever when you include the existing years. Now it becomes more manageable because it's over a longer period of time. You have more control over him.
And May won't ask to renegotiate for at least 4 or 5 of those years.
Right. So and then you get some runway with him.
Right.
This to me is about being sure that you have the right guy. And if you're as sure as the Chiefs were with Mahomes when they did the 10-year deal,
right?
If you're as sure as the Bills were with Allen when they did the 6-year deal, then you got to swallow hard and do it because you got one.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you got
that would
one.
only put him at like 32
this is a much better. This is a much better problem to have than the one you had a couple years ago. You know, where you were looking for one. So. Yep. That's what they'll be working around, and God knows what these deals are going to look like. What the salary cap's going to look like when they do the next set of television deals, when they potentially go to 18 games, when they keep growing it internationally. I mean, the numbers. I don't think we're that far off from the first quarterback getting $100 million a year. Not the way Mahomes or Allen did, but on one of these.
How does that affect the Gonzalez negotiations? Does it?
It shouldn't. I've come to view this, Rochi, as your quarterback is separate, right? And this is why owners have talked about having a separate salary structure for quarterbacks versus the rest of the players. I think that horse has left the barn. We're far past quarterbacks, looking at it and saying, well, how does this fit in a larger structure? Blah, 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 blah. No, the quarterback is separate. If you have one, you have to pay the freight for him. And anyway, what difference is it going to make if he's making $5 million less? Honestly, on a $300 million, on a $350 million salary cap, on a $400 million salary cap, which is probably what we're talking about when we get a few years into this deal. Now, do you really want him to feel bad about the deal he took? Or do you want to feel like, hey, we're rewarding you the way that Buffalo rewarded Allen? Kansas City and Mahomes is a little bit more of a unique deal, but the way that the Bengals, who are notoriously cheap, the way they rewarded Burrow, the way the Ravens rewarded Jackson,
Sure.
You want him to feel good about the deal coming out of it too. You don't want him to feel like I really kind of took one here, and then do you want that residue, which the Patriots had with Brady, right?
Sure.
Because if you remember, I was there. It was my second year covering the team, and I can still remember
before you got excommunicated.
Yeah. I can still remember in 2006 standing out there. Rochi probably was in one of those scrums too, where Brady was talking about Deion Branch not being there, and that was a year after he signed his first monster deal.
They traded his 2 wide receivers. Well, they didn't trade, but both of those wide receivers were gone the next year.
And Brady felt like he got screwed because they told him, take less and we'll continue to build around you. And then when he started talking to his teammates about what had actually happened, it wasn't, now we're going to pay everybody. It was using Brady's deal against them. It was, he took less, so why can't you take less?
Yeah.
That's Tom Brady over there. Yeah. And that, I think, complicated the relationship with Brady. Now, Brady's an outlier and the ultimate competitor was never going to make it.
The theory is still the same. I understand.
But do you really want to go down that road?
You treat your franchise as the franchise. Everyone else sees that and falls in line.
And he's done everything to act like that franchise quarterback that you want.
Yeah, I'll give you guys a good story on Mahomes. This was probably 4 or 5 years ago, during COVID, and I remember they had done the deal with Patrick, and the Chiefs constantly were really diligent about talking about, okay, how do we take care of our quarterback, all of that, how do we build around our quarterback? And one of the things that came up was there was that short period of time where Brady left here for Tampa, Deshaun Watson requested a trade out of Houston, and Aaron Rodgers was making noise about leaving Green Bay. And so you had all of this quarterback chaos going on. It was kind of a chaotic time for the league because COVID had thrown the salary cap into flux and nobody knew what the future looked like and all of that. And the Chiefs actually met on this and resolved we're never letting that happen with Mahomes. We're never going to let anybody in this building think that our success is about anything other than the quarterback playing at the highest level and then everything else. We're never going to be the team that's going to be sitting there. And the Patriots were one example of I think there were people here that thought it's not just Brady. But the Chiefs actually got very intentional about this, and we're we are going to make sure. And so they keep Mahomes apprised of every free agent move. Like when Kenneth Walker was signed this year, he knew it. He knew they were going after him. Trades, draft board. Like Mahomes is almost like a partner there. And I think that's the way a lot of these athletes want to be treated now. And, unfortunately, like for the Patriots, like I think there's some like lessons to learn from what happened with Brady at the end, right, between Bill and Tom, where when you don't do that, eventually it's going to cost you. And again, they use the examples in the moment of Brady, of Watson, of Rodgers that were like, we're not going to let this happen here. And I think Buffalo's done the same thing with Allen, and taking care of him.
Which is why I have a different take on the Patriots in this coming season. As down as I am on the Red Sox, we'll have that after the break, Fred.
Get to break already.
Do we have a new host?
Come on, let me go. Yeah.
maybe Hardy's not coming back. Maybe this is the Roach and Toucher
If you
show.
listen to what happens after 8 o'clock, I think Hardy will be back real soon. Don't you worry.
Well, that's not up to me. All right, we'll be right back.
Sports Hub.
All right. We are Toucher and Hardy with Danny Roach. Danny Roach was all hot and bothered before the break, and you got to give the people what they want. You can't leave them hanging on a roacher. So, Danny Roach, what did you have for our friend Bert Breer from the MMQB?
I think all the expectations are for the Patriots. Okay, they could be better than they were last year, but the record's not going to be near what it was, and because everything else. But if you treat Drake May as, and I'm not going to say Mahomes that level yet, or Josh Allen or what have you.
Don't treat him
but
like
if you look
Holmes.
at his record, when he started out,
his record was 2-1,
12-4, 11-3, 14-1,
4-9.
I think with the
1, 2, 3, 4, 30.
You ever see the movie Stand and Deliver, Danny?
Yeah.
My ADD is kicking in, and I'm not retaining anything right now.
Did you see that look of disgust?
Bert, just let him go.
Yeah. What you said is he's it's not like home.
It's his show.
It's like 1, 2, 3 times
His
9.
world. Just let him go, Bert. That's why he's been successful. It's why he's number one.
It's why that look of disgust. I hope the people on YouTube, Nick, if you could ever get a frame of Dan's face when he answered that question, that is great.
9 times 3. 1, 2, 3. 27, right? All right, go ahead. Go ahead. You're positive about this season for the Patriots. Go ahead.
Roachy, go ahead.
So, I forget. I lost my train of thought.
Peter Gabriel album.
You were talking about where
So yes, those expectations are there for Drake May with what they've done, with what we saw in a year difference of mandatory minicamp, and the way Drake threw the ball, the way that they have Brown, and the way that they've, you watch Byard, and he just looks like a Devin McCourty type of player out there. Why aren't the expectations of they made the Super Bowl last year. We want to get back there. We want to be the AFC champions and what have you. I think everyone's kind of around here couching everything because they're afraid to say how good they might be in year 2 of this whole Mike Vrabel, Drake May campaign.
I mean, I think there are more examples of teams regressing to the mean than there are of teams that just keep ascending, and these things are rarely linear. So, look, Washington is obviously the best example of it now. I think the Patriots are in a similar situation. They made it further, but similar sort of spot to Chicago.
But Jaden Daniels had those, because of the type of quarterback he is, had injuries and things like that. I think this team,
I don't know. Expectations
all
were pretty
around
high for them last year.
Yes,
yeah,
but they fell.
Right.
But I just think that they're a better, more rounded team with that quarterback too.
I think again, there's a few different factors. Number one, I think it's that, again, historical regression to the mean. I think after that is the schedule. I think it's also the AFC. And here's the thing. Last year, going into the year, one of the reasons I thought the Patriots were going to have a hard time, I thought they were going to be better, but I thought they were going to have a hard time getting into the playoffs is who's going to miss the playoffs in the AFC? The AFC looked so deep and so loaded, and then the Chargers lost both their tackles, and Mahomes got hurt, and Burrow got hurt,
right,
and Lamar got hurt, and the Bills had kind of a wonky year, and you just started adding one. Sean McDermott gets fired in Buffalo, not because they got knocked out in the divisional round. He got fired in Buffalo because the owners looked at it and said the AFC was wide effing open this year, and we couldn't make it in the year. And that was they saw opportunity last year, and the Patriots took advantage of that opportunity, which is obviously to their credit. But do we think that the Chiefs are going to be down again? Do we think that the Chargers are going to have the same injury situation? Do we think that the Ravens are going to be down again? Do we think that the Bengals are going to have the bad injury luck that they've had the last couple of years? And if a few of those things swing, now the AFC is the gauntlet that we expected it to be last year, the gauntlet that it was in 2024. And so, I think that that's probably it,
right?
And again, I don't think anybody would. The Patriots have leveled way up from where they were a year ago. But are they
tougher just because of
are
the
they
path.
a cut? But how would you look at them versus Baltimore, Kansas City, Buffalo? Are they a better program now than those teams? They had a better team last year. are they a better program than those teams? And those are two different things.
Yeah.
Is Denver better?
And
I know
Denver,
they're not
Denver has like a
14-3.
little bit more of an established. Now they've done it 2 years in a row, and Denver has ascended steadily under Sean Payton. You had the first year with Russell Wilson and flushing everything out.
Yeah.
Then you come back, you make the playoffs with Bo Nix as a rookie. And then last year, I think you argue maybe they would have beaten the Patriots if they have Bo Nix in that game. Or at least if you were on that side.
I don't think there's any argument. They won 10-7.
Yeah.
Weather be damned in the second half.
Right.
I don't think there's
When I
any
go back to the
argument there.
Drake May, if he's in, like you said, the top 5 MVP level type of player, and who should get better as he goes.
Yep.
Right? So, and that's,
I
I think it's
like,
kind of, I think people are afraid to say that the Patriots can be that good.
Rochi, I think the sky is the limit with Drake May. I think that
Right, that was my point. All right,
I honestly think with him, a lot of it is gonna, and this is the thing about him, is, and I don't know that enough people look at it this way. When he came out of North Carolina, he was still sort of just a big athlete playing quarterback. The same way Sam Darnold was coming out of USC. I know people don't want to hear that comparison, but it took Darnold a while to get it because Darnold was like a linebacker his sophomore year in high school. And I'm not saying it was to that degree with May, but May is one of these guys who was like a 3-sport athlete in high school. Burrow is this way too. Was like a 3-sport athlete in high school and wasn't going to a private quarterback coach from the time he was 4.
Like
he
Mac
had
Jones.
and I do think that there's some degree with Drake of as good as he was last year, there's still a ton of untapped potential for that reason, and also because this is going to be his first time playing as a starter in an offense with the same coordinator in consecutive seasons since he was in high school.
Yeah.
So,
and it was pretty cool what they were doing at minicamp. Ashley Grant was explaining how they just kind of came up to the line, sometimes said go.
I still think he's the chaos drill.
Yeah.
I still think that I still think that there's plenty of ceiling to chase there with Drake. Now, the flip side of that, is that now the rest of the league has tape on Drake, in Josh's offense.
Mm-hmm.
So there's part of that too, where you're going to have to learn to counterpunch against some things because teams are going to have now seen it. And I mean, that's part of what, and there was a million reasons for what happened last year in Washington, but that was part of what happened with Cliff's offense with Jaden Daniels in Washington. And so and Josh has been doing this for so long that he knows how to counterpunch, but that does present a different set of challenges for the quarterback.
All right. Well, Bert Breer, thank you so much for your participation. And now, even though it's Juneteenth and a lot of people aren't working, we need participation from the audience.
Traffic was smooth coming in because of Juneteenth.
Absolutely. It's a national holiday that we don't get off, but nonetheless, Dan Roach is here. And it is time, what everyone likes to do when Dan's here. It doesn't necessarily have to be about Dan, but Dan, you know this. You're in a walking club. This is like the radio walking club. What happens is you call in 617-779-0985. It's like an old front porch with a rocking chair. And you sit back and you call in and we just shoot the breeze. You call in with anything. It doesn't have to be about Dan or his proclivities sexually or his masturbation habits. None of that's all conquered ground, right, Danny?
Bert, don't go. I've got other questions.
All
on the
conquered ground.
You want me to stay?
You can stay if you want.
I think it'd be great if you stayed.
You got to go to Long Island. It's up to you. So 617.
Call for Bert.
I'll stay.
Yeah.
Well, no, don't call so much for Bert. Call for Dan. 617-779-0985. You can say anything about me, about Johnny, Nick, a lot of Ryan, very heated opinions on Ryan. Anything going on in the world.
Right.
But we wanted to keep it civil, right, Danny?
No. Why don't we change? Bring your sex. Bring your smut.
Well, no,
bring
I don't.
Everything you want, right at me now.
I don't want it to
bring
be.
it. I got you.
I don't want it to be divisive. I don't want it to be political. I don't want you to get into Dan's belief on superiority in races.
I like the way you guys are workshopping that.
No one reacted to that. Okay. Doing this too long. All right. So it's going to be hard, Dan. It's going to be hard to get enough phone calls because it is Juneteenth. But 617-779-0985 as we begin to shoot the breeze.
Stay tuned.
Sox lost their fourth in a row yesterday. They got swept by Toronto 4-3 at Fenway Park. Brandon Valenzuela's RBI double off of Aroldis Chapman in the top of the ninth was the difference after Connor Wong failed to catch his foul pop-up earlier in the at-bat. Sox open up a 6-game West Coast road trip in Seattle tonight. Bruins traded the rights to 7th-round draft pick Andre Gasseau and a 4th-round pick this year to San Jose for 4th and 5th-round draft picks this year. Early yesterday morning, the team announced they'd be retiring Patrice Bergeron's number 37 next season. At the World Cup, the U.S. plays Australia at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. However, their best player, Christian Pulisic, is questionable with a left calf injury. He trained separate from the team yesterday. Late last night, Mexico clinched a spot in the knockout round with a 1-0 win over South Korea. Canada shut out Qatar 6-0. Switzerland beat Bosnia-Herzegovina 4-1. And it was Czechia and South Africa playing to a 1-1 draw. Scotland and Morocco, by the way, play in Foxborough tonight. And there's still about a dozen men that have to finish up their first round at the U.S. Open golf tournament. Wyndham Clark already did that today and completed a round of 6 under 64. He has just teed off for round 2 with a 2-shot lead on Dustin Johnson. Defending champion J.J. Spawn, by the way, fired a 7 over 77 yesterday. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by 128 Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric, the company that finishes every job strong. If your home or business has a plumbing, HVAC, electrical, or drain issue that can't wait, you need to call 128 now at 888-CALL-128. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Are you actually coaching the game, or it's just that is? I feel so strongly about that. I can't even tell you.
Boston Talk Sports here.
What do we got?
Sports.
And now back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
We want to do the segment Shooting the Breeze, but a couple things. A, the phone screener is completely jammed.
Woohoo!
And 2, you can't let Dan off the hook. You have to keep trying. 617-779-0985. And then the Adams Dumb Station is doing a stupid, useless contest that's probably rigged.
God.
Wow, a rivalry's brewing already.
And it's jamming up all the phone lines. So the one time a year that I even take phone calls, I can't get phone calls, and I can't see them on the screener. So this is Dan, what have you done? Mm-hmm. What have you done?
Sabotage.
Yeah, you've sabotaged something.
Nothing. Yeah, you gave him a 2-hour warning, so he had time to play some phone calls and get this done.
Dan, do you know people at the phone company? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yep, a lot of friends of mine work for Verizon.
Okay, I need one of you guys to reset the phone screener. I can't see anything. And I also need you to answer the phones.
Ryan, go out and get me some food.
617. Ryan, don't listen to him. That's not your job. 617-779-0985. I will try to make the best of this. All right, here
we didn't even get the imaging.
Salsa water now for the summer breeze.
All right, there you go.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Since Bert stayed, why don't we have Bert play the role of me? Go ahead, Bert.
617
You answer
779-0985. You just call in. Dan's here. He's one of the guys here. You can talk to him, but you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Why does the phone keep ringing and getting disconnected? This station is really something else. And I imagine there's a team of... Yeah, we can only get 2 phone calls at a time, so this is what we're going to have to do.
All right.
Tom, go ahead.
Yo, Freddie T, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you, Tommy.
I just wanted to... Yeah, I hope your dad's doing all right, man.
Well, it's been disgusting, to say the least. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just wanted your take on the grunge era of rock and as its place as the last great era of rock and your top 5 grunge bands.
Okay, so yes, they blame grunge music, which I just read a book by a guy from Mudhoney, and he says that the actual grunge era of proper grunge music was like 2 years, and he's not being like pure about it or like trying to be too precious with the whole thing. With Nirvana, who are a decent band, I just didn't understand why they were the band that broke. Out of all the bands in the world, I don't know why they broke. But if you were going the bands I owned albums of, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden. I used to like Mother Love Bone when I was little, because I was into like metal. I never owned a Pearl Jam album. I never owned a Nirvana album. So I never owned like a Tad album.
Stone Temple Pilots qualify?
I don't know. They're not a Seattle band, and I think they were more of just a rock band at the right time. But what ruined rock music was the pivoting to rap rock. That is, and there's
like
no
Limp Bizkit.
There's no denying it, because when the alternative stations went away from like melodic music and they went into that kind of rap rock thing, it alienated like a whole huge base of the audience, and now there's only one band that can really tour, and that's the Foo Fighters. Any festival, it's pop acts, rap acts, and then the Foo Fighters. That's really it. What other rock band? Metallica, I guess, can play. But, I mean, those are bands where every member is older than me. That's not a good... Or Blink-182, who are older than me. I'm 51 years old. I mean, I know there's rock bands that are popular, but not like festival headlining popular. Brandon, go ahead.
Morning, fellas.
Yes.
It came up on the show recently discussing how we deal with our erections. And I was curious, Dan, what do you do when you get a boner? Do you shove it up there in your waistband, or do you have a different technique?
Dan, we were talking about this. I said the only way I know of to disguise an erection when I don't want anyone to see it is to put it in my waistband of my pants. Now, Dan, when you get an unwanted erection or an erection at an inopportune time in public, or if you're on TV, what do you do with the erection? Like, actually do with it to... You can't think it away right away, because if you think about baseball, it's only going to get worse.
I like Chris Cornell's vocal range. Sound.
Well, does it get you erect? Because that's the question. How do you hide your erections?
Can't
Dan?
put Terry Cashman on.
It definitely happens. It definitely happens, Dan. When you get an erection, and you are only 60, so I would imagine, and you're in good health, what do you do?
Bert?
Bert, we know what Bert does. It's a non-issue.
Tried and true.
You got to put it. Do you put it in your waistband? Have you ever gotten aroused on the air?
Oh, good
Have
question.
you?
Good follow-up. I like that.
I know, right?
It could just be it doesn't have to be anything particularly
four?
sexual. Yeah.
Game 4.
All right.
Someone play It's a Small World.
Well,
They've improved that.
That's the end of that call. So play the
makeover.
imaging.
Okay.
Or get on this image.
Shooting the breeze. Shooting the breeze. Shooting the breeze. Shooting the breeze.
Dan, go ahead.
Gentlemen, good morning. I wanted to ask Dan Roach how he feels about Freddie T had an old partner for many years, and that new partner is on another radio station now in the afternoons. I just want to ask Dan's opinion, how he compares the two shows, and if he likes the new show better with Hardy, or if he favors the old show with the other guy.
Yeah, Dan. What show do you like better?
The other one.
Damn it.
No.
I knew you would go there.
I've had acquired... I like you guys. You're very comfortable.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's very...
Because that's what you want.
It's part of my day.
It's just a very benign, comfortable...
Yes.
Like a very... Just a... like kind of almost like a background noise.
Not benign. No.
Something that would be good in an elevator.
I laugh. I have a good time.
When you don't want to get anyone too excited, you put the show on.
No. Don't misinterpret what I said.
And you will be interested to know this. John can speak of this. How often have I mentioned Rich's show?
0.
The morning show on ZLX, I wanted to fail miserably. This is such a pathetic thing. I don't even talk about it. I don't even think about it. I don't even care.
Sitting around at a cocktail party shooting the breeze.
Ask John.
Shooting the breeze.
John's the one constant. He's
I
like
never
baseball.
bring it up.
I do.
I never bring it up.
No, you do not.
I don't think about it. So that's at least mental health points in my my book. Chase, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, boys? I'm going to let Danny off the hook on this casual Friday while the boys are driving to work.
Yeah,
Dan, you got a quick dad joke for the bros who are just cruising in on their Friday, looking forward to the weekend?
Yeah, Dan, you won't uncover what you do with an erection that you need to hide. Why don't you give us a little fun thing for us to
I heard
tell
a
to
good
the
one
kids?
today, actually. Why did the Scarecrow win an Emmy Award?
Why?
Because he was outstanding in the field.
What? Where did you hear this morning?
That's really good.
That was pretty good.
As I was leaving my nursing home, Fred.
No, where did you hear it? Did you really hear it this morning, or was that just a folky way of telling it?
That's the beauty of shooting the breeze, Fred.
Feel like shooting the breeze?
So when you,
I liked it. Wallach loved it.
I loved it.
no, it's a good joke. When you see Dan, there can be rewards in shooting the breeze. It's not all about
That's my favorite episode.
terrible things like admitting you get erections. I mean, I didn't mean to, that's awful.
There was some tension in the room for that.
Well,
one.
I mean, it's almost inexplicable to. I mean, you can't have your kids knowing you've got an erection because considering that they came from your nuts. All right. So, but Dan, when you went to buy your physical newspaper today, who are you texting?
Oh, nothing.
What are you doing on the phone?
Nothing. Annoying you.
What are you doing on the phone?
No,
I'm talking to you. No, seriously, what are you
I was
doing?
looking up dad baseball jokes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now you're cheating. Dan's off limits.
Good.
Paulie, go ahead.
Fred, I'll tell you what, if I become aroused in the wrong time and place, and I played a ton of hockey all my life. I think of playing hockey. And for some reason, don't know why, it works. It works every single time.
No, those locker rooms, though, that would get me all excited. Okay, go ahead.
My soulmate, God rest her soul, used to say to me when it would happen, say in the wrong time and place, she said, hockey, Paul, hockey.
You have great strength of imagination.
Fred,
yes.
Fred, I love you. I'm sorry to hear about the struggles with your dad, especially you, because I lost my dad in early December, and as you well know, I've told you before, you and my father share the same birthday, which is January 16th.
I'm sorry about your father.
Now, Fred, and I know that you've met the Black Crows, and I know you know them from your days down in Atlanta, and I want you to come to the Black Crow show tonight, Fred. Talking about music a little while ago, you're disappointed.
You know what's funny is I've never met the Black Crows. They were in Atlanta well before I got there. I got to Atlanta in like 99, and I think that they had already left, and they might have already been broken up. I think the album with the pubic hair came out right around the time I started at 99X, and no one was playing that. Go ahead.
I am drinking Crown Royal and salsa water now for the summer breeze.
I don't want to do another one of these. All right, Andrew, go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, boys? Hey, Dan, I got a question for you. You like Imagine Dragons?
Sure.
Well, Imagine Dragon these nuts on your chin. Have a good day, boys.
Imagine that.
That was pretty
Sit
good.
around at a cocktail party shooting the breeze. Shooting the breeze.
Imagine him with his testicles on your chin. That actually made Dan break his character.
That's what you look for. That's all I want.
Just the absurdity of him being upset with that, I think it finally got to him.
You got me, Freddie.
Yeah. Dan broke character. You got to get Dan to break character. That's very rare.
That's fantastic.
Dan's very good at keeping in character, but the balls thing was too much for him. So congratulations to the caller. Pat, go ahead.
I once did that.
Huh?
I once did that joke to David Ortiz.
Did he even understand?
So it's getting ready for Game 4 of the Red Sox Colorado World Series in Colorado, and one of somebody from the Red Sox front office said, "Go, we need David to relax a little bit." So I went running out to the batting cage where he was hanging on, getting ready to hit. I said, "Hey, David," and I said, "Like, is waiting. They need to talk to you out by the dugout." And I'm like, he's like, "Huh?" And I said, "So like, Fred, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Who?" And I said, "These nuts."
You have to go D's, and then you go D's nuts.
I forget what I said, but it worked.
You can't just say who, and he goes,
No.
what? And you go, these nuts.
Yeah.
That's not how.
Well, I did it right, though.
Danny.
I tried.
I went up to David. He couldn't understand what I was saying, and he goes, who? And I went, my balls, nuts. My nuts, David. Relax.
This segment never fails.
This is a big game.
Never fails.
My nuts.
It was off to a little bit of a slow start.
David,
but
look
now
at
I'm
my
happy I stuck around.
Well,
See, Bert?
It
Great.
starts slow. There's many technical issues. Pat, go ahead.
That's part of my day.
All right, what's up, Pat?
What's up, Pat? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Love the show. Not sure how much you guys frequent Burger King. It's just something I kind of realized recently is that every time I've ever been, they tell me to pull up to the second window. But you'll notice they got two windows. So my question is, what the hell's going on with the first one and why it's never used?
AI. I got to imagine at one time it was a two-man operation, and now they've AI'd the whole son of a bitch. That's what I can understand.
Clapping the D's, shooting the breeze.
Oh, hello. Very
different.
urban.
Yeah.
All right, our final shoot in the breeze. Paul, go ahead, Paul.
Hey, guys. Hey, Dan, my coworker's cleaning out her basement, and her husband collected a bunch of adult magazines. Not just talking the big three, like Penthouse, Playboy, Hustler. We're talking like Swank, Cherry, Barely Legal. You interested?
Dan, what was your favorite non-Big Three porno magazine? Was it Nugget?
Don't say yes. Don't say
Was it
yes.
Jugs? Was it a specialty magazine? Was it something over 40 or something of that
Those really
nature?
are the big three, though.
Those are the big three.
Right, yeah.
Guccione, Hefner, and Flint. There's a place in Vegas where it's like a Mount Rushmore. Dan, what's your favorite non-Big Three adult magazine from back then, which is a long time
Still
ago?
around. Baseball America.
No, you don't. I don't even believe you subscribe to
I do.
Baseball America.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's such a waste of money.
Why?
What do you read in there?
All the college stuff and the high school draft. The draft's coming up.
Yeah, but you can get that online.
Well, yeah, we can do both. So I still like the physical part, so I get Baseball America sent to my house.
Brilliant writers in that thing. Okay, so do you get New England Baseball Journal?
Yes.
So do I.
Mm-hmm.
All right, listen, that's a good question, Paul.
That's a great question. Thanks.
What when you were a young man and we went into, again, years ago, your kids are not born, you're not with your wife. Years ago, we go to Dan Roach's house and you go take care of my house and we go through the drawers. What adult magazines are we finding?
Cosmopolitan.
All right. So, yes. So, I'm
Sears
not
and
talking about
Roebuck.
when you were 11. I'm talking about when you were a free man. Have you ever bought an adult magazine? I have not.
No.
I have not.
Just the embarrassment.
I
I'd turn
bought
50 Shades of Red if I tried.
How much things change. I bought the Playboy. I had a girl buy it for me with Anna Nicole Smith because I was so infatuated with her.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the one where she was like playmate of the whatever. And I didn't even have the balls to buy that. But if I went into your house, like for instance, when I was a kid, I had an Adult Video News, which is an industry magazine. It's not even very pornographic. And a Jugs, which at one point my mom found when cleaning my room and left it on my pillow as if to say, I don't know what. I have two kids. I can't imagine doing that.
Yeah.
What her passive aggressive motivation for that would be.
I found this. Now you know that I found this.
Yeah, it's like, great, Mom. Now masturbating. Congratulations. You cracked the code. Dan, what would we have found?
Nothing.
You've never owned a Playboy or any kind of adult magazine. You've never had one in your possession. Did you leave them in the woods?
Yeah.
Dan, you have been in possession of an adult magazine.
There was nothing under the mattress.
No, I'll talk to you after the break. During the break.
Did you ever have a film?
No.
You never had a VHS tape?
They were DVDs in my day.
You never had a VHS tape, a Super 8 film?
No.
Have you ever made a film? See, that's a personal question. You've never had a Playboy ever in your entire life. You never had roommates and there was a Playboy. You never in college someone had a Playboy or a Hustler or a Penthouse or a Nugget or an Amputee Weekly. No one had any of these things.
You're telling me when you were in freshman dorm at Syracuse, you never had anything like that?
Zoe and I have been shooting the shit here. 617. Dump it.
He's going to keep taking phone calls until you answer one of these. You know that, right?
Matt, go ahead.
Got to get to Fluto.
All right, Dan. Let's keep it to respectable publications like the Sears Roebuck catalogs. With the
Ted Williams fly fishing.
Did you ever skip to the bras and the panties section and just spend some time?
All right. Yes.
Hey, Dan used to spank it to Sears Roebuck catalog.
No. Keep it clean, Fred.
All right. I didn't even do that. All right. Well, very good. Dan's sick. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. This will make you happy. Patrice Bergeron's number is getting retired.
I always said, Fred, even early in his career, if you're going to buy one Bruins jersey, and people do it, they come to those games in droves with jerseys, buy Patrice Bergeron.
And we will talk to Fluto Shinzawa. He had a good piece on the history of Patrice Bergeron, his early relationship with LaPointe. There's a lot in that article.
And you know what's going to happen Monday?
You finally sell your hustlers on eBay.
Patrice Bergeron's going to get announced to the Hall of Fame.
I would believe that would happen. All right. Thank you, Bert. I bet you're glad you stayed for that. All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy next on the
Hardy mornings on the Sports Hub.
There's Bergeron on one-timer. Save Reimer. Rebound loose at the top of the crease. Richard score! Bergeron! Bergeron! In Game 7! And the Bruins win the series!
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Dan Roach is in for Hardy. Fluto Shinzawa has been covering the Bruins for a very long time, and it was announced yesterday that Patrice Bergeron is getting his number retired. No surprise there. And on Monday, you're saying, Dan, that's when the Hockey Hall of Fame announces its
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock on Monday. Fluto Shinzawa, obviously, we have on all the time. He covers the Bruins for The Athletic. Hello, Fluto.
Hi, good morning, Fred.
It's good to talk to you. First of all, the belief is we'll get in first ballot Hall of Fame, you think?
Yep.
Okay, so that should happen. And no,
I like that. No hesitation. Just, yep.
I would
no
assume,
problem.
I would assume that would be the case. All right, so you had a good piece on you talk about him. So when Patrice came and he was he was a young kid. He was 18 years old. Kind of take us through what the team thought about him, expectations, and how they were met early in his career.
Well, such a young player in terms of being, because if I recall, I don't think he turned 18 until after he was drafted. So he gets picked in the second round in 2003. And I don't know in terms of initial expectations that they thought, okay, here's this 18-year-old French-Canadian kid who's still growing physically. The hockey sense already is significant, but can he play with men? I think he opened a lot of eyes during that first training camp. And then it was to the point where it didn't make any kind of sense to return Patrice to junior just because mentally he was ready. Maybe physically there was some growing that he certainly had to do at that age, but everything else already at that point of his career was already professional. So, and which speaks to that was a trait that was consistent from A to Z with Patrice, right? The professionalism, the commitment of this is his job, his livelihood. And to take that seriously, to be invested in all phases of his job, and to be so committed to every detail about the work that was required of him, I think that's just such a characteristic hallmark of who he was, how he approached his livelihood. Because I think all of his coaches would say that, boy, you could really depend on Patrice any situation, and that's a coach's dream.
The one thing about Bergeron is, two things. One, I always said, like, I said it to him, you'd be the guy that you'd want your daughter to bring home, as far as the boyfriend goes and concerned because of his character, but also Fluto standing there in 2013 when they lost to Chicago, when it looked like they were going to go back for a Game 7, then it was going to go to overtime, and then they lost. Bergeron, if you look at the litany of injuries, he suffered a punctured lung in that game, separated shoulder. He had broken a rib during Game 5 and a torn rib cartilage during Game 4. Yet he came out after the game, spoke to the media, and then spoke to the French media in French, and then got on an ambulance to the hospital after that game. Said everything about his character, especially his toughness, which we hear about hockey players, but he was as tough as they come.
It looked horrible too, right? Yeah. That night, just and literally had trouble breathing. You can even go back, Dan, to 2008 when he comes out with a neck brace on after his that was a life-threatening concussion in terms of getting decked from behind. In horrible shape, affected by the light, everything, dizzy, fatigue, everything. Comes out in the neck brace and discusses, quite frankly, how he was feeling and what his health situation was. So, yeah, professional, again, on all accounts.
Fluto, one of the many calling cards to a supposed expected Hall of Fame career is how good a defensive forward Patrice Bergeron was when he played and how good a faceoff guy he was. It sounds to me like he's probably the best defensive forward in Bruins history. Where would you put him in NHL history?
Well, by definition, John, to have won the Selke 6 times, nobody else has done that. So by that measure, best ever in terms of two-way game. And right, not the fastest skater. That wasn't his strength, but to be able to process the game and to think it, to put himself in positions where he needed to be on the right side of the puck, above the puck in pretty much all situations, again, goes back to the hockey sense and the commitment, because he, as Patrice showed later in his career, this is a player that had offensive skill and firepower. We all saw it when he played with Brad and David on that top line. So the numbers could have been significantly better had Patrice wanted to focus on offense. But this was somebody who took that side of playing so seriously. So yeah, best ever, I think you could say.
Wow, best ever. And so, so first ballot Hall of Famer, getting the jersey retired. Now let's kind of fast forward here to the future. The Bruins made like a trade yesterday. It's hard for the layman to understand, including myself. Can you explain just what happened in the significance of it, if any, of what they did yesterday?
Sure. It was player Andre Gasso was the player. 7th round pick in 2021, so never really a high end player in terms of. It's very unusual for those types of players to make it. So good on Andre to put himself in position to possibly make the NHL. And 4 years at BC, no small thing, and captain his senior year, consistent player, really developed himself into a good pro style player. But the issue with that kind of player is when you're 4 years out from your draft year, you can become unrestricted so if he could have stayed unsigned until August 15th of this year, then at that date he could have signed with anybody, a completely unrestricted free agent, no obligations to Boston. So he had put himself in that kind of position to have some bargaining power, and he clearly did not want to sign with Boston in terms of perhaps there was a better opportunity of being a NHL player sooner rather than later with somewhere else. And then so the Bruins trade him to San Jose. And I'm assuming he's going to sign there at some point. And you look at the track record in terms of where those two organizations are. San Jose has been out of the playoffs for a long time now and they're picking second overall again. So if you look at it from that perspective, yes, theoretically that will be an easier roster for him to crack. So I think if you're the Bruins, yeah, you're disappointed just because you invested a pick, you invested 4 years of development and watching him and scouting him and coaching him at BC, only to see him say, yeah, I put myself in a position not to sign and to look for an opportunity elsewhere, but business, right? And Bruins got some draft capital back for that. I think it was a 4th and a 5th this year. So there's something back now. Those picks are far from sure things. And if they even develop into NHL players, you're talking years down the road. But that's business.
Fluto, is this just the beginning of trades for Don Sweeney? He's got some cap room and some needs up front. How do you think this summer is going to play out in that regard?
Yeah, 2 windows, John, in terms of opportunities. If you work backwards come July 1, okay, that's been traditionally a heavy signing period, and the Bruins took advantage of that. But if you look at this year's class, it's light. And Toronto just snatched up one of them, Darren Radish, one of the right shot Ds that I'm sure would have been in the Bruins' interest, just because that's such a deficiency. So if that is kind of limited, especially compared to years past, then yes, you would say in this window leading up to the draft, when those picks are in play between now and Friday and Saturday, perhaps we'll see some movement. Because yes, there's I think there's a case to make in terms of approaching this organically, in terms of, okay, let's stay the course in terms of making picks. You have a first rounder coming up. You still have those 3 in 2028, but then you also look at it from the Pasternak, McAvoy, Swayman window in terms of trying to maximize that. So it's tricky. There's a balance to be struck, but yeah, you think about it from the trade market. That's probably an avenue that you're going to have to explore in terms of trying to get that either one of the two, right shot D or top 6 forward, because yeah, you need impact players at both positions.
If you had your choice, Fluto, what would you do as a GM? What would you look to do if you had your choice and you were able to work something out? What would you want them to acquire?
It's a little bit altered right now just because Radish is off the table, but I think that right shot D can affect the game a little bit more significantly than a top 6 forward. Look, everybody knows they're short on a true number 1 center, but how many of those are available? And if they are, what is the price versus a right shot D? Which, yes, they're also limited in supply, but I think it would, in terms of value, in terms of cost, in terms of that level of acquisition, I don't think it would be as expensive, and I think it would touch the game more. Just because, look at the results. If you don't have the goalie last year, you're not making the playoffs just because of how leaky you were on defense. So if you can have somebody that can ease the pressure on Jeremy and facilitate some breakouts, make some stops up the ice on defense, I think that's the priority. And there's still a player or two come July 1, Rasmus Anderson. It didn't work out on the trade market when you looked at that during the year, but now all you have to do is invest a lot of money in term in the player, but you don't have to give up assets. I think that'll be the priority.
And just very quickly, any chance Dylan Larkin is a Bruin?
I would not be holding my breath. Just in terms of, if you look at it from the player's perspective, you've stuck it out in Detroit for how long and you've missed the playoff. You want to go win. Is Boston the top 5 destination in terms of winning right now? Probably not. I'd want to go to Florida if I'm the player. I want a more of a sure thing to go chase the cup than the Boston Bruins.
All right, buddy. Fluto Shinzawa, great stuff. Keep reading him in The Athletic all offseason. We'll see what happens trade-wise, and we'll see on Monday Patrice Bergeron get elected into the Hall of Fame. Fluto, thank you for everything, my friend.
You bet. My pleasure.
All right, there you go. Fluto Shinzawa, here are the headlines. sometimes charities will go, can you give anything? And since we have nothing, we will go, I'll go, oh, well, if someone wants to sit in on the show, they can do so. Now, you'll recall there was this even more special opportunity where you could play golf with the show at the big sports club golf tournament. And, Felger and Maz went for 10 grand.
Mm-hmm.
So with the golf tournament, we had a kid that showed up. He said he knew the show. I doubt it. But he said that he was a player at Georgetown. He was a young kid. And what happened is some kid's mom bid on it, then gave it to their kid, and their kid couldn't go, so they gave it to this kid. And today we have Anthony in studio, and Anthony works for a charity that had an auction where someone bid on our show out of just like most likely seeing that there was no bids on it, and then bid on it, won, and said, I don't want it. And so Anthony works over there, and so he took it. And he's like, I'll go.
Thanks for being here, Anthony.
Yeah. So they felt that rather than let it go to waste, they would make someone come and show up. So that's good.
This has been a hell of a month.
Yeah,
for the show.
It's really good for the ego.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a kid that had no idea who we were, and now we have a guy. Now he likes the show. Anthony likes the show.
But
Thank
it's
you,
the principle of the thing. He had nothing to do with bidding on it.
But they had to search for someone who actually liked the show. They had to
That's
find
awful.
someone.
Was it like a big email that went out? And,
I just mentioned, I saw it, that it was an item for bid. I was like, I've been listening to them for like 20 years. So the person...
He was walking down the street by the event.
Yeah.
Hey, I know that show.
Well, listen, we appreciate it. We appreciate you showing up. It would have been very embarrassing if no one would have shown up. All right, John, the U.S. is playing in the World Cup today. It's at 3 o'clock. This game is where?
It's in Seattle.
Okay.
It's in Seattle at the home of the Seahawks.
You are a Seattle. You're a local yokel. Your mom moved there to get as far away from you as possible.
Yep, that's the rumor.
All right. So, how much is the get-in price for the USA-Australia game?
It is almost $1,900. That's the get-in price to see this match between the U.S. and Australia.
Isn't Seattle like a big MLS market?
Yes, very big MLS market.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I would imagine that with the performance of the USA team in that first game, that there is it's going to be quite an atmosphere. I guess I was at a restaurant where they had on the background that Canada-Qatar game was in Vancouver, and I guess that got all crazy. But then some dude got his leg broken.
Yeah, no, that was an interesting match to watch. Canada won 6-0. It was never in question. Qatar had no chance, but yeah, it was got challenged from behind. He got tripped up from behind, and it looked like the guy accidentally broke his left leg. And the funny part about that was, it happens. It was clearly not intentional. It wasn't an attempt to injure. It's just bad luck that it happened. But the Canadian players went nuts. They went after this guy, and it kind of rose to the level of the NBA hold me back thing, where there was a scrum and people are charging this guy who clearly had both hands on his head. He didn't mean to do it. But and the guy was given a red card and kicked out of the game. So Qatar was down 2 men because they got
Qatar, but go ahead.
Qatar, however you pronounce it.
Well, you pronounce it Qatar.
Two men out of the game. So Canada had an 11-on-9 advantage, and you would think up 3-4-0 they'd stop. After a while, they were so angry they showed no mercy.
But aren't you incentivized to score as many goals as you can because goal differential?
Goal differential, yeah, it is. But even on balls out of bounds, the Canadians up 4 goals were sprinting to get it to waste absolutely no time. I mean, Qatar didn't possess the ball in the Canadian half of the field for the final 25 minutes.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the goalkeeper was near midfield just to make sure to get the ball back to his forwards so they could get it back into the Qatar penalty area as quickly as possible.
They said it was a gruesome injury.
There's goal. It was.
It was on in the background.
I saw it
he was
live.
on the field forever.
Yeah, the coach said he could hear the snap.
But the reason I think that the Canadians, it had nothing to do with goal differential. The two coaches shook hands.
You think that they were pissed?
The Canadian head coach wanted nothing to do with the Qatar head coach, who tried to explain what had happened. The Canadian head coach shook him off and ran away from him. There was some bad blood there, and that's unusual in the World Cup. You don't usually see that amount of emotion team versus team. You want to win, but not anger, which I found very fascinating.
Yeah. And so Qatar's got one more game left.
And then they're done. Yes.
Right. Who'd they draw against? Do you know? Because I'm just looking at it.
No,
now.
Canada. No, I don't know.
No, Qatar.
Oh, I don't.
Canada's 1-1.
Yeah.
Qatar's 1-1. So someone couldn't beat them. Switzerland. They 1-1 draw with Switzerland. Switzerland any good, Johnny boy?
Yes.
They won yesterday 4-1.
Yes. They beat Bosnia-Herzegovina 4-1. And now they play Canada in the final game of the group next week to decide who wins it. And if you win your group, you get an easier opponent in the knockout rounds.
You gonna watch today, Freddie?
Yeah. If at 3 between the hours of 3 whenever it's over, yes, certainly. If I'm home, I will put it on. Especially now, Friday is a big Seinfeld day on Comedy Central. They devote a lot of time to Seinfeld, so this is going to be a situation where there's going to be some flipping. But yes, of course, if I'm home and I know that, yes, I would absolutely put it on. I won't be home. Mal's got a game, so it's a moot point.
No.
All right, caller number 10 to the contest line, 617-931-0985. Will score a pair of tickets to see the Black Crowes tonight at the Xfinity Center. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. When we come back, Danny Rocha always comes prepared, and he has for us a game that he has invented. You'll remember the last game, John, was a real barn burner.
It was awesome.
It was like baseball or baseball.
No, this one's, I don't know. I don't feel great about it. But
that's the old. That's
the scary thing is he felt good about the last one he brought.
I know.
Yeah, this one's going to really
doesn't feel
suck.
good about this one.
This one's going to be terrible.
Oh boy!
All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
All right, gentlemen, don't get older. Take control. You can be stronger in the gym.
Telefair Tire Studios. This is Boston's home for sports. The flagship station of the Patriots, Bruins, the Celtics, WBCFM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting. Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox got swept by Toronto yesterday 4-3 at Fenway Park. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and Caleb Durbin hit back-to-back homers in the bottom of the eighth inning to tie the game, but Brendan Valenzuela's RBI double off Aroldis Chapman in the top of the ninth gave Toronto the lead back for good. Sox have lost 4 in a row. They open up a 3-game series in Seattle tonight. Bruins made some news yesterday. They made a trade. They sent the rights to 7th-round draft pick Andre Gasol and a 4th-round pick to San Jose for 4th and 5th-round selections. At the World Cup, the U.S. plays Australia this afternoon in Seattle. Their best player, Christian Pulisic, is questionable with a calf injury late last night. Mexico became the first team to clinch a spot in the knockout round. They beat South Korea 1-0. Canada beat Qatar 6-0. Switzerland beat Bosnia-Herzegovina 4-1. And Czechia and South Africa played to a 1-1 draw. Scotland and Morocco play in Foxborough tonight. And round 2 is underway at the U.S. Open Golf Tournament. Wyndham Clark 3 shots clear of the field at 6 under par. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, keeping drains flowing for homes and businesses in the greater Boston area since 1976. Go to johnsewer.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
The Sports Hub. 3 legendary franchises on one legendary radio station. It's the Sports Hub.
My buddy
With friends like these,
to climb up a tree.
you know.
We're the best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now, more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy, on the Sports Hub.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Hardy ain't here. Danny Roach is here on this Juneteenth, which is not a company holiday. We are not banking any vacation time. No. I wouldn't even be able to see, too, because they got a weird thing that you got to sign before you can look at any of your...
What holiday you have?
Yeah.
Can't get in.
It doesn't seem like the most ethical thing on the planet. But nonetheless, here we are.
Can't see anything.
No. So it's going to be a while before I can see something. All right. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Danny Roach, you, my friend, are my favorite fill-in, as you know.
Well,
I've said it openly with other fill-ins in here.
Well, thank
said
you.
Dan's the first choice.
Thanks.
Anything after that is conversation. No, it's you and I like you, Ryan Johnston. You guys are the 2 that have done it the most. I feel very comfortable with you. And one of the things that you do is you come prepared. You know that you're going to talk about something about Disney. You know that you're going to talk about your walking club. There are things that we know when you come in. But Dan always comes in with a game, and we park it right at the end of the show. No, Dan always comes in with a game.
Called filler.
No, well, that's called what everything's called. All right, so Dan...
But this, Fred, I have enjoyed these last 10 days or what have you. And I know you guys will poo-poo everything because anything positive and fun is like, wah.
Yeah, I hate it.
Is that the Scots have taken over the city. It's just been there's so much positivity. They took over Fenway. It was electric, the atmosphere. Everybody that was there said it was just incredible to listen to the songs. And they're just so happy.
Are there any girls? Because like I have friends who've been out to things like where the bar's been taken over by Scottish people.
You see big fat guys with beards and kilts.
Yeah, I don't think there's any women in Scotland.
There's this girl that I would have to think there's at least a couple. But there was this thing that this girl put up where it was her birthday and they got the bar singing happy birthday to her. And there was she was like legit. I actually was like, felt bad for her. I think she enjoyed it, but she was a little embarrassed. But the whole bar had sang happy birthday to her. And they pan the crowd, and she's the only girl. And it's like a big bar in the city.
It is noticeable. Like, you do see that. because the Scots everywhere. So I don't know where all their
and I know everyone's enjoying it,
fans
and Mayor Wu has gone so far as to make an edict with the country that now we're pals.
Well, yeah, and my daughter's friends are bartenders, waitresses at places all over Boston, and they said,
are the Scots tipping?
Yeah, thousands
because
of
Europeans
dollars.
sometimes do not tip. You're aware of that, especially the French.
I don't know if they robbed banks on their way over, but they are tipping.
That's my question.
Yes.
Is that here are the things, and everyone's enjoying the Scottish people. By the way, there's like other countries here too, but the Scottish.
Yes, Norway, the Norwegians and the rowing,
the big rowing chant.
Isles.
Yeah,
yes, it's pretty fun.
I was there, saw that. Yeah.
Rowing chant.
It's a rowing
I thought they
chant,
actually got rowboats.
No.
You're really insisting
big
on it.
Chant.
It's part of Small World,
chant.
Fred.
But the Scottish are certainly, not surprisingly, by far the loudest.
Yep.
Now, if you want to see Iraq fans, you just go to Detroit on any day.
But it's also a lesson for us, Fred, here in the town. We're so grumpy about everything.
I know, and it drives me nuts, everyone's joy. No, but I am asking you this. How are there's like not a lot of games. How are they able to come over? Are the same Scottish people the whole time? Ooh. And then also, how are they able to keep the nation alive with no girls? These are the questions.
That's probably the best question out of all of them.
We need to get someone from Scotland that might be listening to call in and
you
tell
think they're
us.
awake?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know
maybe
about
they're
that.
awake at their hotel, but they are triple the sales on St. Patrick's Day. They've already tripled that.
Well, that's fantastic. But yeah, I know they ran out of Sam Adams at one place.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this: is that I'm very proud of the Scottish people. But I am giving you, and all I know is from what I've seen. I have not seen any. I haven't been in the city. I didn't end up going to the game yesterday because I had to go to the doctor. But so I haven't seen it. So all I see is what's on the internet or on TV. I know some people, Dan, are going to say, Fred, you don't know everything. And I'm admitting that. But according to this girl I know, it was her birthday. I'm telling you, 200 people at this bar. She's the only girl. Now, she's enjoying it. They're not doing anything wrong.
Right.
But there's just the absence of Scottish women is a little bit concerning. So I'm wondering if I should go to Scotland now and I'll get laid like crazy because I'm like the only guy. It's like during World War II if you had somewhere you couldn't fight. You know, all the girls, the boys were overseas. Yeah. That would be my strategy. Just doing acid and crapping myself for 3 weeks before I went into the draft meeting and then seeing if I could get out and start having sex. All right, Danny, what's the game?
All right, so with all the Scots in town, a little bit of fun. So let's kind of have some fun with some trivia.
Ready to play a game? It's the World Cup. Hey, Fred, what's up? Is John a smarty? Even without Hardy.
Oh, Dan.
Oh, great World Cup. You're not just a cup. We all love you. You're our best friend. Lifelong. Yeah.
Is this Disney?
Thanks for being my
Toy
friend.
Story, isn't it?
I love FIFA's World Cup.
It's either that or the
Hey,
Muppets.
Fred, let's go to the pub. Mbappe.
I'm seeing Toy Story tomorrow.
Army. Come on, let's go play a game.
I like how you got Mbappe in there.
There you go. Tartan Army.
It's a party on Friday.
They never end,
Still in the
John,
party.
the songs.
Fred, John.
You don't know this song?
I really don't. What
Red
is this
Solo
song?
Cup by Toby Keith?
Oh. This song was actually recorded for someone over the age of 8?
Yes.
Wow.
Huh? Nope. Even with Toy Story 5 coming out today.
Are you going to that?
It came
at
out
some point I
Wednesday.
will.
It
did?
Yes.
I thought last night.
Maybe
Like
it did last
late
night.
last
Maybe
night,
it did
you know?
last night. I apologize if I got
One of those
that
things
wrong.
where the movie theater that I go to, it's the only movie playing today.
That's smart because I bought tickets for Saturday because my daughter and I go to the movies and she was not opposed to seeing this, and I bought them like the day they came out, and they were already, these are only 80-seat theaters. This is a real lavish Chestnut Hill situation. Like this is, I saw your partner over there. It's that nice.
Really?
Yeah. What's his face?
Steve Burton.
Yeah.
Congrats on him going into the Massachusetts Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
Oh, what an honor.
Oh, here we go. I know you poo-pooed on it, but...
Where is it? What is it? And who gets in? That's my question. Are you in it?
No.
Okay. All I know is Pebbles that used to work down the hall and him are in it. That's all. I've never heard of it in my entire life except when people get in it.
I know some people that have gotten in.
Who?
A guy that I worked for.
I just like how it starts like a guy.
55
like
years.
when you say like the Football Hall of Fame, you'll say Joe Montana.
Right. Well, you wouldn't know
don't go
this guy.
a guy.
That's
of course. Well, that's sort of my point is I wouldn't know the guy.
Billy Costa's in, right?
But now you've won me over. Billy Costa's had a very successful career.
Yeah. And who's your guy?
And
Maddie's in.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then Maddie got in, and then Billy Costa undercut him to get himself in.
Okay. I didn't go there, but yeah, he's in. So
I don't know anything about it. I'm just going by what Maddie says.
You know, Jack.
I have
Edwards,
nothing against
Jack
Billy
Edwards
Costa.
was,
bitter at all.
I actually have nothing against Billy Costa.
Jack Edwards was inducted as well.
Okay, very good. But and then as was the guy I wouldn't know.
Jordan Rich. You know Jordan?
If you got into the Massachusetts Broadcasters Hall of Fame, be honest. Where would it rank in your lifetime of achievements?
It'd be nice. You know, it'd be
where would it
nice
rank
capper.
in your lifetime of achievements? By the way, I stopped getting awards as soon as I got successful. The minute I got successful, I started getting awards. We won a Marconi like before the show was overly successful. And now that the show's been successful for a long time, if you go into my office at home, and Dan, this doesn't have to be a very good game because we're doing a great job, you and I, killing time. But if you go into my office at home, I didn't, I'm divorced, so
right.
Well, you gotta script and scram for what you can hang up. And I had all these awards from Atlanta when I was nothing. Like they were giving me awards hand over fist, radio and records awards, creative loafing awards. So I come here, and then when we're on BCN and no one's listening to us, the improper Bostonians giving us awards, and we're the greatest, and this and that. And then we win a Marconi, which is the greatest honor in radio, which now means nothing to me because they give them to horrible shows now. And I'm not just saying that. Like, shows like I got no idea. Like, it doesn't mean anything.
True.
At the time, it seemed like quite an honor. It really doesn't as much anymore. I'd still like to win one. Like to. I don't think about it very often, but I would like to. And then they just stopped. Then we have this like huge run of success, whatever. I'd rather have the success. But it is curious, and I have thought of it from time to time. They just stopped giving awards, and I think it's because no one cares about radio. I really think that's what it is that just there's no awards anymore because no one cares. I mean, there's no Golden Globe ever for radio, but all of a sudden there's a podcast one that no one wants to win because it's sad. They Jamie Poehler wanted to win the Golden Globe for podcasting.
Don't they do one where they give out awards to all the TV, the radio stations? One of the national shows they kind of show
probably,
off air,
but how
though.
the hell would I know?
I mean? Yeah.
We never win anything.
Major
No one
Market
does.
Station of the year.
It's
that
not
kind
like
of stuff.
Felger and Maz are winning awards either.
Yeah.
They've got one Marconi. We've got one Marconi. I mean, there's stuff like the list and crap that no one cares about that are industry
That's all
lists.
you need, though, for
No,
for
I
your-
need
for your-
recognition.
No, for your obituary. I won one Emmy, and then I pretty much stopped entering.
Well, I've never won an Emmy.
An enema?
You know what's on my gravestone? You've heard this, haven't you? What Hardy has pointed out that will be on my gravestone.
No.
One of my great quotes. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah.
German porn, by trope, is scatological.
And my point was that's a gravestone you stop and look at.
Yeah.
That's a one you pause while you're strolling through the graveyard and bring your
Now I have to come up with another.
bring your significant other Mary over and look at.
Yeah, now I have to
So
come
they
up
can
with another
urinate on
one.
it.
You
So
took
I-
my line.
I have done this, and I suggest you do when you're planning.
That's an interesting one. What would you put in your gravestone?
When you're, we could do the Mount Rushmore of gravestones. I'll tell you this. Is that what I've done when you plan for your death, and what I suggest that you do?
I just got that.
And what I suggest you do is that you do what I do. You allocate 90% of your inheritance to the gravestone, and then 10% for transportation for the gravestone.
To and from the shuttle bus?
Because I want a whole scene. Nothing cooler than going to a funeral and seeing the guy next to it with a giant headstone.
Right.
You know they were real important, and they invested a lot of money in the right stuff.
See that tomb over there? That's
Yeah,
Fred
you could have given all that money to like cancer or something, but you decided to pop that into a gravestone.
I'm literally taking it with me.
It's something that literally two people care about, and then when they're dead, no one will care.
All right, so here's the first trivia.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Finally.
We'll do these quick. It's World Cup. What is the most?
You don't have to go quick. You take your time.
It's a Friday. We're good.
What is the
Seriously.
most common first name in World Cup history, starting 1930 all the way to now? Is it A, Luis? Is it B, Carlos? Is it C, Jose?
I would say it's Luis or Jose.
No.
And don't they? Jesus.
Ryan,
Wait a
you're
minute,
quick on that
Ryan.
buzzer.
I have to guess as well, Ryan.
I think it's Carlos. I would assume.
I'll go B, Carlos.
Isn't the thing that Jose is the like South American Spanish version of John? Not John without an H like our John
Right.
is.
I think it's like those are 1, 2, 3, but one is Carlos. 78 players over 96 years. Carlos Valderrama starred for Colombia over 3 World Cups. He's the most
And
prominent.
his brother,
Carlos.
that 70s show.
Yes, in NCIS. Right?
Wilder Valderrama.
Yep. All right, next one.
He's
Scotland.
very short. Go ahead.
Scotland has the highest concentration of distilleries of which liquor in the world? Okay, John.
Yeah,
is it A,
whiskey,
gin, B, vodka, C, whiskey?
It's whiskey. Scotch whiskey.
Yeah.
Scotch whiskey. There you go. That's easy.
Scotland home to 130 different whiskey distilleries, making it the country with the highest concentration of whiskey production.
I can't go there on the account of my alcoholism.
Okay, next
Thanks
question.
for that question.
Who is the USA?
Now I want to drink. Oh, I'm shaking.
Who is the USA's all-time leading World Cup goal scorer?
Oh, it's a trick question. There's nobody who's ever scored.
Everyone's at 0.
It is scraps. All right. Is it A,
Landon Donovan? I'm going to say Landon Donovan. I don't even need the choices. Landon Donovan.
need the choices. You're locked in.
Is it A, Landon Donovan? Is it B, Clint Dempsey? Is it C, Bert Patinaud?
You made that last name up.
I
I'm
did
going
not, John.
B.
He played in the 1930 World Cup.
All right, so B, Clint Dempsey.
Landon Donovan.
Now for Fred, there you go.
I think I knew that.
Landon Donovan with 5.
In 94, I remember that we were fairly invested that summer. It was the first summer out of college, or first freshman year summer of college. For John, he was dealing with the Great Depression and just his own. Mm-hmm. And I remember that being at my friend's house and like caring about the elimination game. So I do remember that.
And you
Landon
remember-
Donovan was on that team in 94, wasn't he?
No.
I think that's too far back.
Yeah, he was
All right,
2002
so much
and
for my
2010.
memory.
Great job, Fred.
Alexi Lawless on
Yes.
that team.
There you
Apparently,
go.
he's terrible on television.
Yeah,
huh?
I was reading some
The
harsh
Athletic?
remarks. Yes,
They said
I
like
was.
they said the Fox studio show is like a horrendous horrendous disaster. It was real mean, and apparently this guy hates Alexi Lawless and whoever the foreign guy is that he
Thierry,
says
right?
it's
Thierry
not his-
Henry.
Yeah.
He said it's not his first language, so he's giving.
And
him a
then you
pass.
have Zlatan.
Oh, Zlatan is the one he didn't like. Him and Lawless. He hates Lawless.
Yeah.
He said Zlatan he's giving a pass because it's not his first language.
That's right. He knows. The problem was Zlatan knows nothing about any of the teams that are playing.
That's what he
the
said.
problem,
He said that when he was confronted that the Canadian had a coach, he didn't know who the guy was, or he
Right.
seemed to have no information. Which is odd because you're doing like 40 minutes.
I know.
You would, on one thing, you would think that you would know. They tell you beforehand too what they're going to talk about.
Well, it's even worse because the Canadian head coach used to be the U.S. head coach.
Yeah, I
So
think that was the
that's the big
thing.
problem.
And that's why he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Only 2 more questions. What is the national animal of Scotland? Is it the red deer, the golden eagle, or the unicorn?
The Fat Stalker, is that where that show was? Baby Reindeer, or was that in England? It was in the UK. The Fat Stalker. I'm going off the list.
I'm going A. What the red what?
The red deer.
We're going red deer.
The Red Menace.
No. You know what it is? The unicorn. Yeah. Unicorns
it's
are
not an
featured
animal.
in many cultures going back as far as the classical age, including the ancient Babylonians and Indus civilization. With its white horse-like body and single spiraling horn, the unicorn is a symbol of purity,
What was
innocence,
the
and
question
power
you
in the
asked,
Celtic
though?
mythology.
What was the question
What's the animal of what's
Okay.
the national animal of Scotland?
So you understand the unicorn's
It's
not an
mythical.
animal.
It's mythical. Scots have
But it's
always
not
felt
an animal.
drawn to what they represent.
What's the bird of the United States?
I don't
the
know.
crocodile.
I'm just telling you, though.
I mean, that's the Dan. Come on, think about it. At least admit that wasn't a good question because you got it wrong.
Finally, which player has won the most World Cup titles over his career?
All right.
Oh, okay. Ronaldo.
Messi.
Okay, I'm going to give you choices.
All right, go ahead. Sir.
Yeah, but it's fun if we guess.
Is it A, Ronaldo?
Oh,
Is it B, Ferrari? Is it C, Pele?
How can it not?
It's not
Messi
Pele.
not be in there?
Ronaldo. Yeah, so
Yeah,
you're
no,
automatically
Ferrari.
wrong.
It's got to be. You can't Ferrari.
I don't
Italy.
know. Ronaldo. I'm saying Ronaldo.
Yeah,
34,
Ronaldo's
38.
the answer.
No. Pele with 3.
I thought Pele was just in that movie.
1958, 1962, and 1970.
You ever
How
see the
about
movie?
that?
No.
Yes.
All the way through?
No, but
I have seen that movie all the way through.
But it was just a still picture in my mind of like whatever year it came out. I was too young to form memory.
Stallone is the goalkeeper in that one.
Yeah.
Bonus question: has India ever qualified for the World Cup with its 1.4 billion population?
Well, that's leading as in no.
I'm going to guess no.
Technically, it did. In 1950.
What did they host?
But they withdrew. And legend has it because they were told they couldn't play barefoot.
No Effects Band. This is not a dirty question. No Effects Band. They did a TV show where they were going to sketchy places, and it's in the theme song. We're going to sketchy countries. They've been to like Middle Eastern countries, like countries that like no band's playing. What's the one country they won't go to and play?
India.
Boom.
Wow.
I don't know why, but they want. But that is what it is. Let's go, Hugh.
In fact, India played barefoot at the Helsinki 1952 Olympics.
Yes, they did, and it was glorious. Hugh, go ahead. Hugh, you suck.
Hugh.
Joe, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. And hey, sorry to hear about your father's situation. Fred.
Thank you, I appreciate it. He's not like dead or anything, so like, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
I got a similar situation with my mom up in Quincy. Anyways, Dan, love it. Like Fred, I love it when you're on. You're a fun guy. We're the same age, and you carry yourself very well, and you're very distinguished looking. You know, when you're on TV, you wear very nice suits. But more importantly, Dan, when you measure your penis, what's your base that you start from? And do you give it a little extra stretch for like a more favorable, result?
Do you push the ruler into the skin is what he's saying.
Ryan, can we go out on
Joe, we've all done that. Do you push it into the skin? Or are you so thin that there's no material there to push? Dan? How long is your penis, Dan? All right, very good.
Play a game. The World Cup.
Perfect.
Just so many people have accused me of hating the World Cup that I'm pushing against that. I do not hate it at all. And if people are having a good time with the Scots, my thing was I was wrong. I questioned just exactly how many Scottish people could be here. And apparently enough to make quite a bit of noise. But
they have another match tonight at Gillette.
But then again, I know, Dan, it's real long. You got to let us talk over it. But
sorry, Boston Stadium. They're at Boston Stadium tonight.
I like the song.
I didn't say I didn't like it. It's not worth playing twice all the way through.
Sure, why not?
Well, the audience. So, but I am fascinated by the limited number of women, if any. I've yet to see in any of the crowd shots a woman.
Over under on female Scots people at Gillette tonight.
Well, I don't know. At that bar, there was 200 Scots, and not one of them was female, which is odd. I mean, it wasn't a strip club or nothing. It was a real bar, like in the evening.
4. Okay.
All right. That's
very good, Dan. That was Dan Roach.
Dan on WBZ television tonight will tell you how many women.
Exactly how many we have.
And he doesn't do it by vision. He does it by smell. All right. We'll be back in just a moment with the award-winning email segment.
I'm out.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Hey, it's Wallach. Have you placed a squad bet with Fanatics Sportsbook yet? If you don't know what a squad bet is, trust me, you're going to want in. Instead of sweating one player to carry a parlay, you combine player stats into one collective target. So if one guy has an off night, the rest of the squad can still get you there. Squad bets are available across NBA, NHL, MLB, and now soccer too. Go build your squad now only at Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Massachusetts residents, call 800-327-5050 or gamblinghelplinema.org. Offer not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app.
Visit the 99 this Father's Day weekend for a great lineup of menu specials Dad will love, like the slow-cooked baby back ribs combo, or juicy 18-ounce T-bone steak, or their famous colossal lobster rolls. You gotta love the 9s.
Join the Sports Hub team on Saturday, June 20th from 12 to 4 in the parking lot at CVS in Patriot Place, where we're celebrating Father's Day.
or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call 7-617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. Dan's been inspired to start rubbing his hands together like a psychopathic John. All right. Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, this actually is, it's good Dan walked back into the room because my 4-year-old son wants Dan to explain how he's going to be able to tell how many women are there by smell, not by sight. I said I didn't know.
Dan, you
so
made the
call
statement.
in and ask.
Dan, you made the statement.
I didn't make that statement.
Oh, you absolutely
You did.
Well, no, I inferred that you had told Fred that's what you were going to do.
You inferred that because Fred said that. Do you believe it, though?
No, I didn't say that you had said it off the air. I said
there are people that believe people eat cats and dogs. So,
some of the most powerful people. Some would say the most powerful people. Listen, Dan did not say that, but I would assume that there's something in the animal kingdom that can let you know. All right.
I have an email here from Richie from Revere. It's addressed just to me, but it's for Dan. Dan, please ask Dan who his favorite porn star is: Kit Natividad, Pandora Peaks, or Janet Jameson.
Those are the three options?
Those are the three options.
By the time Kit Natividad did pornography, she had no business doing pornography.
Well,
she was not looking like
she was in that one movie.
My Tutor.
Yes, that's right. Dan, you ever see the movie My Tutor?
No.
I think you're lying.
I know. I haven't.
It was on cable constantly.
Oh, really? Then I see. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. It was about a kid. He had a tutor. Him and Crispin Glover go to a whorehouse, and Crispin Glover ends up on a big wheel. And then the other guy ends up with Kid Nativad, who is very busty, and he falls asleep on her boob because he's drunk. This was a seminal moment for a lot of people growing up. Nothing?
No.
All right. David says, listen to this email. Hello. If you're not, hello. If you're going to be overly confident in your pronunciation of Cutter, you should say it correctly. Saying Cutter is still not correct. Maybe you do some research before you talk down to John about his pronunciation.
I said Qatar. Is that incorrect?
Wasn't the whole point when the World Cup was there, everyone was saying it's not Qatar? Everyone was saying it's Qatar?
I have a vague
Paraguay
memory
versus
of that.
Paraguay.
I have a vague memory of that.
Well, first of all, let me apologize for talking down to you, John. I really need to do some personal work to get that under control, especially when it comes to this.
Does he have an answer?
No.
Oh, he doesn't
Of
tell
course
us
not.
the correct way?
No, he
What
just said
an
it's not
idiot.
Cutter.
Okay, very good. Sean says,
Can
hey,
someone tell me how the F to pronounce this country? So I
don't know.
Now it's pissing me off.
I don't know, and I really can't bother to now
now
look it
I
up.
care because
Okay.
if everyone yelled at us that it was Cutter 4 years ago.
Danny,
Now, the American pronunciation is Qatar.
Yeah.
The British pronunciation is Qatar.
Yeah. What do they call it? Like, if you're from there, what do you say?
I've
What
never
is the
been to
noise that comes
anybody.
out of your mouth? Isn't it funny that this is a country that there's 5 people here and none of us could even find with the gift of the internet how to pronounce it.
No, I'm seeing guitar.
Nick's just in there smiling and playing guitar. You should have seen how unbothered he was when the phones were. No one was calling. Go ahead.
Sean emails, hey, boys, I bartend around the Fenway area. The older Scots are tipping very well. The younger kids haven't been tipping at all, but it's getting to the point of being exhausting. They don't need to be chanting during Colombia, Uzbekistan at midnight. Also, all the girls are saying this is what Boston needed. It's just dudes crushing Bud Lights. That's all Boston's ever been.
So,
it's a great email.
So I was in the service industry in Atlanta, and I worked at a bar, Jocks and Chills, that had a few locations, but I worked at the one at the CNN Center, which is right next to where the Georgia Dome, now whatever the hell it's called, is. And like when they had international sporting events, which was fairly often, it sucked because Europeans often didn't tip. Like it's a non-tipping culture. You went to France, like it's like a non-tipping culture.
Yeah.
And even though they know they're supposed to tip, they would tip like 5%, or they would leave like a couple bucks.
I saw a couple instances of that. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so I'm not talking out of my ass. I mean, I'm not. It's like, sometimes when you get European and I am of European descent. Sometimes when you get European tourists, they don't tip. That's just the way it was. I don't know if that's the case anymore. And this guy's a bartender. He's saying the older Scottish people are being good about it. Because if someone racks up a $2,000 bar bill, that's awesome if they tip. If they don't, they just made you work super hard for no reason.
What's the best atmosphere you guys have been a part of at a sporting event or around a sporting event?
Okay, you want to hear the craziest thing that happened during it? So I worked at the CNN Center, Jocks and Jills, and there was like a very small dining room that was upstairs. It held like 3 tables, and it wasn't there for any other reason except that there was overflow. So it wasn't like a VIP or anything. And this stairwell leading up, say, was 3 bodies wide in 12 stairs. So it's the SEC championship game in football. And the place is like just completely jammed, and they busted a couple servers for selling tables. So like if you wanted to see and so we're short staffed at this point. So it's like everyone's standing. So it was completely overfilled. There's like hundreds of people standing around, and on the stairwell, people start coming up to me, other staff members, and they're like, "You got to look at the stairs." And I can't figure out what's going on. I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, the girl in the red or whatever. There's a girl in the red, and she's straddling a guy sitting on the stairs, and they're having sex, and she doesn't have a dress on.
Oh, my God.
That's the best atmosphere you've been
That's fantastic.
It's the craziest thing I saw, you stupid idiot.
God.
Oh, the best atmosphere,
the best
Dan,
atmosphere
was the World Series in 1984. I'm telling a story that's good. Jesus Christ. The best atmosphere was Rollins May 27th, 1996, the baseball game.
The best part about all of this is that we go through the whole show and Fred's teasing you and poking you and doing all that stuff, but he's never been angry.
No, now he's angry
That
at me
last
as I
5
leave.
minutes, he was genuinely pissed at you.
Because I like tell a story and you're basically the story sucks.
I didn't say that. I just said it was the best.
No, but you don't go, oh, or even do me the courtesy of ignoring it. You pivot to like some other. You realize that's offensive to me.
You work with Fred over the years. You see that little flash in the eyes. That's what it flashed red.
It's such an unnecessary insult to me.
Great.
Mike, go ahead.
You guys are cracking me up. Hey, I just want to tell you guys, I'm an Air Force veteran. I was stationed at Al Udeid Air Base. And people pronounce it Qatar or Qatar, both.
Oh.
And it's strange because when you go there, the people there that live there don't usually correct you one way or another. So I think they're okay with both.
So Fred's holier than thou of me saying it wrong was incorrect.
Well, yeah, you and the email are getting in line. I was
There we go. Let's piss off Fred the final half hour of the show, John. You and I are right there with him.
Zip into the weekend on a high note.
It's going to be a tough weekend for you, huh?
Yeah, with my father in the hospital, probably.
Yes, I know, and I feel for him.
That's unfair. Come on now. Come on.
Oh, is it?
It's very unfair.
Is it?
I'll be driving home. Oh, God, sorry.
I should have said that.
He won't pick up. He won't pick up.
What, my dad?
No, you.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. All right. All right. Well, there you go. That's enough of that.
We got a couple of things for the stack. I got a couple of things for you.
Very good. All right, good. We'll have the stack coming up. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox have lost 4 in a row. They got swept by Toronto yesterday, 4-3 at Fenway Park. They open up a West Coast road trip in Seattle tonight. The Bruins yesterday traded the rights to 7th-round draft pick Andre Gasseau and a 4th-round draft pick this year to San Jose in exchange for 4th and 5th-round draft picks. At the World Cup, the U.S. plays Australia at 3 p.m. Eastern time this afternoon in Seattle. However, their best player, Christian Pulisic, is questionable with a left calf injury.
you stack my face.
It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
Oh, that's right. We're Toucher and Hardy. Dan Roach is here. You got hacked, right?
Yeah.
Like, Bob Bronson sent me the most annoying text, like in the middle of the day the other day or at night or something. He texted, he's like, with a picture of your Twitter account. He's like, has he been hacked? And I'm like, no, Bob. He's
I
all of a
made
sudden buying
$165,000 on Bitcoin and crypto.
He's gone crazy with the crypto and he's buying up Bentleys while.
What happened was DMs, all the DMs went out saying, vote for me for some committee. And if you click on it,
yeah.
So I apologize to anybody, but I'm back.
Maybe it was the Massachusetts Broadcasting Hall of Fame that was hacking your account. Maybe that's how they make their decisions.
How long did it take?
I got lucky. Took me a week.
And that's fast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Apparently. Because Twitter kept saying, we'll get back to you within a few days. Never did.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever think about just getting off of Twitter?
Yes. You know, it was kind of a sobering week, Fred.
But why? Like, why just get off Twitter?
All right. I just like Twitter.
Does the station need you on Twitter?
No, but I like it more just to follow what's going on.
To aggregate information.
Yes.
Sorry to trip you up with the word.
It's okay.
Well, that's on you.
All right. Sorry.
Okay. Thanks. All right, go ahead, John.
All right, we got a couple of things real quick. The U.S., as you know, plays Australia in their second match of the World Cup today in Seattle. It starts at 3 p.m. Eastern time. The Americans' best player, Christian Pulisic, is a big question mark. He trained away from the team because of a left calf injury all 4 days this week.
The theory on that is they're playing possum.
It is. That is one theory, but I give you head coach Mauricio Pochettino, who spoke about Pulisic yesterday.
I think at the moment we see he's not available for tomorrow. Will be available for the next game. But I think he's doing
I don't know what he's saying.
massive
It's all
effort.
jibber jabber.
Maybe let him finish. Let him finish.
Trying to be ready. When this type of thing happen, always is painful. But I think Christian is strong and with great mentality, and is doing a fantastic effort to try to be ready as soon as possible.
See,
well, thank God.
I understood. I understood that. I understood all of it.
It was all jibber jabber.
Oh, Fred.
So he said what, John?
He said that he's very strong. If anyone can come back from this, he will be. And the one part of the quote that was not included there was, if he doesn't play in this game, he will play in the next game against Turkey. But Pulisic was so good in the first round, and the Americans, when they took him off the field, there was a big change. So you want to finish up on the momentum of winning the first match.
Everyone's obsessed with Dan's Twitter account getting hacked.
What your crypto feed is.
Thank you. My wife liked the house. Thanks. See what I did with Fred?
So John's big story about the kid from the U.S. is that they don't know.
Yeah, that's correct.
Day to day.
It's day to day. It's a big question mark. The get-in price has dropped to $1,828.
Do you want a fun fact?
To get in Seattle.
Do you want a fun fact about the World Cup?
Sure.
Scotland's playing tonight, right? 6 o'clock at almost said it, Boston Stadium. Go ahead, hit that.
They have Scottish accents. They had a Tiny Desk concert, and they said, let's play that. The exact same way it's recorded, except our voices are different.
Huh.
Boo. Hardy likes it.
Okay.
Well, what's going to happen when the Scots leave after tonight?
They'll be replaced by someone else that will
The
bring
Norwegians are staying another week, if that makes you feel any better. They have another match.
Maybe they'll actually bring females.
Well, England's coming Tuesday, right? And they're supposed to be ornery.
England against Ghana next week.
Well, you can read Among the Thugs, Bill Buford's piece when he went, it was the late 70s, early 80s, and he went with the, what do you call it? What do they call it there?
Hooligans?
Yeah, hooligans, but what do they call the firms? He went like with the firms of the various teams, and he goes to a World Cup that's in Greece, I believe, and there's nothing they could do to stop anybody. They tried everything, and there's just nothing they could do. They would divert trains that they were on into different places. They would line up police, but they would know, and so they would go somewhere else and circumvent the police. It's a whole thing. It's a good book, Among the Thugs by Bill Buford. It's not porn or anything. You can read it. I'm being serious, Dan.
Okay.
Will you read it?
If you text it to me, I will.
Bill Buford.
Yep.
Is
Dawn's
the author.
brother.
He also did a book called Heat about joined a kitchen staff in New York City. But Bill Buford, Among the Thugs. Will you read it, Dan? Will you come back with a report the next time you fill in?
Yep.
All right, thank you, Dan. Do you mean it or no?
Yeah, I will.
All right. Dan's got his Twitter back. He actually spent time trying to accomplish that.
Mm-hmm.
So now he can aggregate information again. I've been lost without it. I can't aggregate any information. It's impossible.
Hi, Zoe. What's up?
This building today is embarrassing.
It's Juneteenth.
If you're...
What,
that is
5
true.
cars in there?
This is also every Friday.
Mm-hmm.
How was
I mean,
traffic?
if I'm running... No traffic. If I'm running a company, I'd cut 20% across the board. Employees, if you're only going to do 4-day work.
Well, I think they've already... I think they're ahead of you on that.
I think you're behind a little bit there,
Yeah.
so.
I don't know if 20% is where they stopped. I think they're more at a 50%
Look around a little
cut
bit.
rate.
Yeah.
But if any company boss comes in and checks this building out right here today, where is everybody at?
It's a great victory for them.
This
They've
has nothing to do
finally
with the
gotten rid of
holiday.
everyone.
I know.
And this has nothing to do with the holiday. This is every Friday.
Man.
This is every Friday. I park right outside the door. Just park wherever you want.
I have this OCD now about parking on P3. I still do it.
You drive all the way up.
I don't know why. It's like a weird thing.
Mine,
Like,
I
I'm
park
afraid not
closest to the exits because it's the best escape. Get the hell out.
to. Yeah. You're not in a good mood today.
I'm in a great mood today.
Okay, good. All right.
We're gonna get weird today, man.
Very good.
Great.
All right.
See, you got your old intern back. That's great, Nick. Back to answering phones again.
Yeah, well, the phones broke when I needed them, or
Did you
else no
fix
one
it?
called. I like it. Just let me be under the illusion that the phones broke. All right, Dan, thank you so much for the time, sir. We appreciate it.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Fred.
That'll do it for us. Everyone, have a great weekend. Bye.
Enjoy your weekend.
Have a weekend.